This is for the sled dogs in the trenches. Real hockey parents, real stories. The good and the gong show. No filters, no sugarcoating, no politics. Just straight hockey talk and the best guests around the barn. Welcome to the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast. All right, boys, grind them corners, chirp responsibly, and bring that savage fire.
All right, everybody, welcome back to episode number 75 of the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast, powered by Pacific Rink, the unfiltered podcast for hockey parents. No politics, no sugarcoating, just real talk for hockey parents in the trenches.
Thank you to Big John Dangles for our awesome intro. Go check him out at Big John Dangles Instagram. BJD does our intro, and I think you'll be surprised if you have not seen his stuff yet.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Check out BJD on Instagram as well. Yeah, super big shout out to him.
Yeah. Have you seen the recent stuff, by the way?
I did. I said he did want to post like Brick with like the Minnesota baby.
He's like graduating to like other, like he's evolving.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, there's plenty of content for him to like, to
nice little thing going.
Yeah, no, that's funny too. Clever, creative, all of the above. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So let's just shout out to partners. You want to kick us off?
I can, yeah. A shout out to Howie's Hockey. Go check out our discount code CRAZY10 for 10% off your Howie's Hockey gear. They have great tape, laces, gear, hats, candles, wax, the scissors, anything you could think of. Howie's has it. They've been around forever. They're an awesome company. They have the second best logo in youth hockey next to ours. So go check out howieshockey.com and use the code CRAZY10 for 10% off your Howie's Hockey gear.
Yo, why'd you take your Howie's bobblehead thing off?
It broke.
It broke.
I was asking, see, it actually was an ornament hanger. And it broke.
Oh, I see.
It was, but it broke.
Oh, because to get it hooked onto this thing.
So we're obviously doing a little upgrades to our situation here. We have like a new like audio interface, and like so the mics are moving and stuff like that. And I broke it. Or it broke. I was trying to bend it because we took the mics off to be able to record remotely.
That's true.
From Longwood.
And that just got jacked up on the way.
And it just broke as I was trying to bend
Yikes.
it. So
you need to have softer touch, buddy. You need silkier mitts to handle stuff like that. You're fucking sausage fingers.
Way too aggressive.
Way too aggressive, man. You don't have that like soft touch.
I don't. Clearly, zero touch. You know what I mean? It's all like
all force, like all strength.
Seriously. It's funny. My father-in-law, when I first met him, like he would use things like fulcrums and leverage and stuff like that. And I was just trying to use like brute strength. He's like, "What are you doing?" Like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "There's so many easier ways to do what you're doing."
How many times were you with your father-in-law and required a fulcrum?
I was just
curious.
I don't remember. I mean, I've known him for a long time now, so but
so at least once.
No, it's probably been multiple.
Several fulcrum.
My father-in-law has done a lot of things around the house that have needed different leverage.
Physics.
Yes. So it every time I go to do something, I just try to use like straight up strength.
Yeah.
And he just uses his brain.
Well, work smarter, not harder, buddy.
Correct. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, so I should try to use brute strength. So I broke this. So I asked your daughter for a paper clip.
Oh, how'd that go?
And she's like, "Yeah, we don't have any paper clips." I was like, "Well, pretty sure if you ask your mom, sure."
Yeah, that's her just being lazy.
I'm assuming there's one in the house.
Yeah, but she wouldn't know. Probably would have.
Well, no, she definitely would. Yeah. She showed me like when I said like paper clips, she showed me like a big back, like the black binder clips.
Oh yeah, like those bulldog clips.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that was gonna work.
Maybe.
I mean, probably not. I don't know where you would clip the big clip onto, unless you like clip him onto.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
It wouldn't be a good situation.
Yeah.
I feel like that's that claw machine, like. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like at the arcade or
the
box. Yeah.
Those things are such money grabs. Although, dude, I saw one.
That's her. Go ahead.
Yeah, you end up with like a $30 like stuffed toy from like China that's like barely staying together, and it's probably made of like asbestos and lead.
So I don't know if I don't know if you ever even talked about this on the podcast. And when I got out of college, I started working for a stuffed animal company.
Yes.
Did we ever talk about this?
You've talked about your time
Did I?
overseas.
Oh, I did.
And you
Okay.
had your Canadian driver guy.
I did in
Yes.
Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong.
Yes.
You talked about that, and you had to carry all these duffel bags full of stuff.
I did, yes. So
Yeah.
we had a carnival line.
Mhm.
I was not in control of it. I was the retail line, so we went out to see like retail stores. But there was a carnival line.
Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You would have toys manufactured in China,
Yes.
shipped to the United States,
In contain-
and then you would put them back into duffel bags and bring them back over there to sell them to people?
Technically, yes.
Really?
Technically, they.
I find that fascinating.
We-
Why?
So the all right. So the stuff that obviously came over in containers was the product that was being delivered to somebody. Right?
Yes.
We obviously had samples that were made that were sent over here from China, and yes, I did duffel bag them and bring them back to where they came from.
And what was the point of that?
Well, because so when you deal with the big retail companies,
Yeah.
when you sell to the big retailers, especially when it's like stuff that's made overseas, they all put their
Are we talking Walmart?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Walmart, Kmart,
Yeah.
Russell Stover, Big Lots, Albertsons, Stop and Shop.
Yep.
Whenever we ever like stuffed animals there, plush
Mhm,
toys,
mhm.
they're all obviously made overseas.
Mm.
So they all have offices in Shenzhen, which is right outside of Hong Kong.
Mhm,
It's across Victoria Harbor from downtown Hong Kong,
mhm.
and they all have offices there. So they go over to mainland China, right outside Hong Kong, to put their lines together, and everybody meets over there.
Mhm.
So when everybody goes over you go over a couple times a year for meetings, and when you're there, you take people out to dinner, you bring your lines, and they decide what they want to pick for and buy, and then they put orders in and it's generally like 6 to 8 months.
I got it. So you were basically setting up for like trade shows type stuff and like.
It wasn't trade shows. You're going to their office.
Okay,
their
fair,
China
but, like,
office.
the bottom line is the stuff that came over in a container, like that's 100% of it is in the container. It's not like you can go to the factory where it was made and pick up a few extra ones. You'd physically have to bring over all the extra.
The factories are in the factories.
Different parts of China.
Yeah, and they're out. They're rural. They're in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
They're
So did you ever go to one?
actually no.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That would be a cool thing to check out.
I don't know about that.
I think it would be cool.
I'm not so sure I like that idea.
Why?
I've heard stories about people going out there.
What, getting killed?
No, but I've heard stories.
So why
where people
wouldn't you
went out-
go?
It's just the middle of fucking nowhere.
So it's got to be, it would be an adventure.
Dude, going over to Hong Kong and Shenzhen, like mainland China, like Shanghai, that's an adventure all to itself.
Yeah. So only if you're up for like double the pleasure, double the fun.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Okay.
You know, I mean, listen. So yeah, so that's where they set up. So they all have offices over there.
Yeah.
They all have they all set up over there.
Got you.
Yeah. So that's right.
You know, speaking of fun.
But I was saying, so what I was saying about this is, so you were saying about like the $30 item.
Yes.
So we would manufacture stuff
Yes.
for boardwalks. We had a whole boardwalk line,
Mhm.
and that shit is like nothing. It's like
dirt.
it's
Cheap.
garbage. Like
Of course it's
it
garbage.
it's like landed here for like 90 cents.
That's unreal.
It's shit.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff on the boardwalks nowadays are a little bit better, but the stuff back then was crap.
Are you like a
shit.
plush toy snob or a plush toy connoisseur of sorts?
I suppose.
Ooh,
I do.
This is a whole new
I-
line of questioning for this guy.
I do know the difference in fabrics.
You do.
Well, because when you deal with it and you know how much it costs per yard,
So what
feels
what's
good
a
and what's
premium blend?
it's not so much. It's more the feel.
Ah, the
You know what I mean?
plushiness.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
plush meter.
Correct.
Do you have a plush meter?
I suppose an internal one.
Internal
I
plush
suppose I
meter.
have an internal one. I mean, when you peel it, you kind of know. No, let's put this way. You can also tell by the look. You know what shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get an idea of what is and what isn't good.
Wow.
Yeah, in
Okay.
any industry.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like there's some people that are really bad at podcasting,
There probably are.
and then there's us, which is the top of the heap.
Oh, I remember back in the days when you were that modest, humble young boy. No, actually,
Oh, really?
no, not
was
so
gonna
much.
say.
No, that wasn't the way you rolled.
I've always been pretty confident.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Sometimes,
Overconfident?
Yeah, but that
It's
happens.
the only way I really know how to be, though.
Well, you got to learn somehow.
My glasses always half full.
Is it?
You know?
Were we on the phone? Was it on the phone? Were we on the landline?
On the what?
We're on that like corded phone.
The what?
With the rotary dial.
Those are like those VHS tapes I keep hearing about.
Yeah. Those are spectacular. Very bulky, take up a lot of space.
They did.
Yeah. Remember you'd have like the individual, whatever. This is silly. But what was I going to say? No, I totally lost my track.
Sorry, you were talking about overseas.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what we should probably do? We should probably get back to our
All right, fire away. I think you're
partners. Oh, yeah. I'm totally.
Coach Kev?
Yeah, let's go hockeytraining.com. So Coach Kevin, hockeytraining.com is premier source for all of your off season and in season too, but we're in the off season now. So off season, off ice, speed, strength, agility training, and stick handling training, and anything that you could probably want to practice in the off season to get bigger, stronger, faster, as well as improve your that was a new one.
There I go.
Sorry, I got distracted there, everyone. But anyway, so to work on your off season training off the ice, in the comfort of your home, basement, local school, whatever it might be. But check out hockeytraining.com for drills and different options on how to improve your game in this off season.
Yeah, Coach Kevin's great.
Coach Kevin is the man.
He's got an awesome library. And go check out TitanBattleGear.com. Scott and I trust our kids in Titan Battle Gear. It's the most cut-resistant stuff on the market, and it looks awesome too. So go to, you can do the link in our show notes, which is TitanBattleGear.com/Crazy Hockey Dads. Use the code CrazyDads10 for 10% off. Like I said, there's the Miami Vice. There's the new USA. Awesome. Donna just got it the other day. I didn't put up on our Instagram, but I got it. Yeah, he actually, yes, yeah, we have it. It looks really good.
Nice.
He's getting a bunch more for Penn State and Princeton because he's growing like a weed, so he doesn't fit in his other stuff. So I use our discount code.
Beast.
So go check out our discount code. Go use CrazyDads10 at TitanBattleGear.com for 10% off your Titan Battle Gear.
That's it. And for any of the coaches and managers out there that are looking into or thinking about video review and analytics for your upcoming season, please check out Athletic Performance Insight. Use the contact form, reach out to Erik. He'll be more than happy to give you a demo of the platform as well as break down a game for free. And you'll be able to see all of the analytics you can use in team video sessions, one-on-one video sessions to go over hockey IQ and different, in-game situational play with team individuals. It's a tremendous video review software and analytics software. So please check it out, athleticperformanceinsight.com. 10% off, which is $100 value. Got to mention Crazy Hockey Dads, though.
Got to mention
the Crazy Hockey Dads.
We're using it. Are you guys going to use it?
That is still TBD.
Did you say anything to your coach yet?
Absolutely.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Erik will take care of you guys. He's good like that. Yeah. Check out Erik. He would definitely, like you said, he would do a demo, mention Crazy Hockey Dads, 10% off, $100 value.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, you definitely can.
No, it's great.
So Otto's back.
Otto's back from Woodward. He came back with concussion, mild concussion after he attempted to do a double backflip off of
double backflip
or a backflip.
Okay.
I don't know. It's confusing me. He was doing double backflips on the trampolines they have there.
Okay. But
he was also using a tramp scooter, which is a scooter that has no wheels, so that you can practice on a trampoline using like the scooter without wheels, and you can practice like swinging it and flipping it.
So it's just the deck.
It's the deck without the wheels.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's actually bouncing on a trampoline
on the scooter with no wheels.
What's the insurance premiums like for this camp?
I don't know. We didn't really get into that when we registered. We just kind of let them handle that.
What if they have a pretty serious policy with like a sub policy to go over with their regular?
It was interesting. So they have like a helipad there in case anyone needs to get like
medevaced,
and that's definitely happened. Unfortunately, right? Because you don't want to hear that type of stuff. No, but yeah, Otto came back with like a concussion. because he
They
hits.
blacklisted him the last day, right?
They red banned you.
Red, sorry. I knew there was a name of it. I knew it was red something. I didn't remember what it was.
Yeah. But he's I don't know.
Red band means like you're not allowed.
You're not allowed. Nope.
You cannot
Subject
do
to
anything
further
that's a concussion protocols basically.
Kind of thing. Yeah, but I mean also if you injured like something else, if you sprained your ankle, they might red band you also.
Okay.
So
got it.
in any event, yeah, so he was out there and he was practicing those types of things and got injured, and thankfully it wasn't too bad, but not an awesome outcome nonetheless, but he's fine.
So I'm curious, is there like like obviously like a school nurse. I'm assuming there's like a EMT-ish staff.
Yeah, they totally have. They have
not
staff.
just one guy.
No, they've got like trainers there, and
I don't think there's like multiple of these.
They have staff, but this was interesting. Funny you even bring this up because you would think at a place like this, they probably deal with concussions
regularly
on the regular.
I would think so.
You would think so.
I 100% think so.
So this is
mountain biking, like flipping scooters, like parkour.
Right, you would think people like smack their head constantly
left and right.
Injured, yes, but like so. This was interesting. So we get told that Otto has a concussion, right. or they think he has a mild concussion,
right?
And
which he probably did. No, hearing the symptoms, I think it was probably pretty.
Sure, I'm not
right. Headaches, like kind of
sensitivity.
He didn't remember a lot of it after it happened.
Yeah. So he
was he sensitive to light too?
I think he had some problems focusing or something. Anyway, so regardless of whether it was or not, I think it was, but sounds like it. So we were on the phone with like the staff that was responsible for like checking him.
The EMT crew.
Right. And so they were like, well, we could take him to so he keeps coming on a Saturday, and we're like, okay, he's not going to be here until the afternoon. Where are we going to take him to like
happened the day before or 2 days before?
Yeah, like on Thursday. It happened Thursday end of day, and then he came back Saturday.
So it literally like 24 hours then.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that like as we were asking about like what to kind of like what they were doing and like planning our next steps to have him evaluated,
right?
They were like, oh, we can take him to urgent care if you want. And we're like, okay, well, maybe we should just have him do that since he's not doing anything else anyway. Like, go to urgent care there as opposed to waiting to go to urgent care here.
Right.
Right? Just like,
go. Did you guys take him when he got home?
Well, hold on. Yes, we did.
Okay.
But we were just like, yeah, take him to urgent care. And so I was like, well,
why not?
So it's out of state and whatever. I was like, listen, just let's call over there and find out how much it's going to cost.
Sure, like insurance one.
Yeah, like find out what the insurance deal is.
Yeah, of course.
So then we call over there, and they were basically like, the urgent care was like, any pediatric or children's like concussion or we immediately send that over to the ER.
They don't want the liability.
And I was like, well, why wouldn't the camp know that? Why are they offering to take our kid to ER? I mean, to urgent care.
And they know they were going to decline.
Well, I guess they didn't know that.
How did they not know that?
Well, they said they were going to take him to urgent care. They didn't say they were going to take him to the ER. Why'd you make a second stop?
Yeah, no, you would think that they would work with this place regularly.
So in any event, that was like further away. It was like a bigger deal, blah, blah, blah. We're like, listen, we'll just have him come back here. We'll take him to the urgent care and blah, blah, blah.
So you waited till he got back here?
We waited till he got back, but I just thought it was a weird thing that they didn't have like really dialed in at a camp where you'd think like dealing with injuries like constantly is a thing, but maybe kids aren't constantly getting injured. I don't know.
I have a hard time believing that.
I mean, based on what Otto tells me, it certainly sounds like every time he's been there.
Every time he's there,
there's some kind of...
Somebody gets hurt. Yeah. Broken ankle.
Something.
They must have somebody's medevaced out recently.
Yeah.
Like, I would think that helicopter gets a lot of mileage to it.
But anyway, so I keep on hitting this. It's annoying.
I see that. You keep hitting my counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would think that I would, yes, I'm with you. I would think
that
gets pretty good use.
So anyway, he made his way back. He's okay. He's going to get on the ice tomorrow. He's going to do like a half day camp for 4 days.
Okay.
But then, speaking of which, he's going to be going to the to Mo's Smile fundraiser, which we got going on this week. So
that's right.
For anyone that has heard us talking about Mo's Smile, it is a fundraising event for in honor of a former local high school or a former local hockey player who passed away from a rare form of pediatric cancer, and they have since started an event to raise money for cancer research with Memorial Sloan Kettering. And so Larry Robbins is hosting an event at his property, which is going to be like they're going all out, doing whatever they can do to honor Mo's legacy and to raise money for a great cause. So for anyone that has heard us talking about it, please check out us on Instagram. Click the link in our bio. If you are up for it, we'd appreciate any donation, large or small. They all help and they all go to a great cause. So yeah, please check it out. And yeah, Otto's going to be there because they're going to have a bunch of games based on birth year. I think they're doing 4-on-4, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what yes,
is it 4-on-4?
I believe it is 4-on-4.
So there's a full day of games. And at the end of the day, there's going to be a pro game, which is going to have like either current pros, which, could be, international pros. That could be
college kids.
But they're not in the EC if they're playing in the coast or if they're playing in the AHL or even NHL. Yeah. So we'll see. It's going to be our first time, but it's going to be a great event to participate in. And we're going to meet probably a bunch of crazy hockey parents. I think we're going to meet a lot of crazy hockey parents. I think so too. We're going to get to interview Mo's dad. Yeah. From what I understand. Yep. So that's going to be awesome. I know this is the third annual, right? They were telling us. Correct. Third annual Mo Smiles, which again, we're beyond thrilled to be able to help out and be associated with it. I'm hoping we raise a ton of money. So like Scott said, please go to our Instagram and check out the donation. Like it all goes to Memorial Sloan Kettering, which is one of the premier cancer centers. It's childhood cancer. No parent should ever have to bury your child, so any amount of money that they can raise, is fantastic to try to combat this stuff because like I said, no parent should ever have to bury their child, so we're looking forward to helping out and raising some money. Otto's playing right before Dominic, right? On that? It must be. Yeah, because he does with Pee-wees, right? And then Dom's in the Bantam game. So no, we're most looking forward to it. Yeah, well, we'll be there all day. That's for sure. Scott and I will be there. We'll be there the day before, setting up too. Yes. So again, we are thrilled that they asked us to kind of, come and help raise some money. We're going to give away a bunch of stuff that day. We have, Howie's Hockey actually donating a lot of stuff. We just kind of got off an email exchange with them. They're going to send us a bunch of stuff to give away during that event. I think there's going to be a bunch of Mo giveaways. There's a silent auction. Yep. And a silent auction and a live auction. There's going to be a live auction too. That would be awesome. Auctioneer, which is awesome, by the way. I think Josh was saying Josh is the kind of like the guy who's, what would you call Josh? He's like, what would you say his official title is? Yeah. I would say he's like the director of operations. Right. He's like the chief of staff for that place, I kind of feel. Yeah, he's a jack of all trades. He definitely seems to run that place. Yes, he definitely for whatever we need. Yes, no, there might be other people. He's been wonderful for us, but and this is like all hands on deck because this is going to be some event. Yeah, and it keeps getting bigger, which is fantastic. There's going to be kids shooting for a cure there. So like we said, we're thrilled to be a part of it. Couldn't be happier. We hope we raise a truckload of money for this. Yeah, no, 100%. So that's coming up for us this week on Thursday. We were already there last week. We did some recording on site last week, and then we're going to report back on the event. We'll probably do some lives during the event. Definitely. So if anyone's on their phone, take a look at Instagram and see us go live. We're going to have some live action from what's going on over at Longwood. Yeah. And again, shout out to Larry Robbins and his staff and, all the people that are, coming together to make this day, even possible. So well, I can tell it's some event. Yeah. I mean, we just kind of see like the behind the scenes stuff and it hasn't even happened yet, but from what we're seeing, it's like a monster thing. Yeah. Like this is a production. Oh, for sure. It's a full on production. It's impressive. Yes. Like I can't wait to show like videos and footage from this thing. Yeah. It's going to be really cool. It's like going to be off the charts. No doubt, man. It is. I'm curious. We're obviously going to be there all day. Otto's coming like later on. Like, what's the plan? Nancy was asking me like when she should Dominic. That's a good question. Yeah. So it's definitely meant to be an all day thing. Right. So I don't know if I had I haven't really thought about it so much. I would think be there in time for your game. Obviously, right. And then hang out afterwards. I don't know what your family schedule is. Right. My family schedule is whenever we're leaving. Yeah. Whenever the day is done. So you're going to be there for the Wait,
Yes.
you'll be there for the day? You'll have 2 cars there? Do you want me to pick you up? We'll figure that out later.
Maybe, yes. Maybe Nancy will drop me off early to the house.
And what am I doing?
I'll kind of bring you over there. Because whenever we leave, right, whatever time that is, I guess it's after the pro game, right? We leave?
Well, we have to finish. We have to break down. Right. We have to do any type of recording. So we'll see. You might not leave until 1 a.m.
Listen, then I'm driving out to Penn State.
Yeah, that'll be easy.
So we'll get out to
Nancy can drive and you can sleep.
You're right. Yeah, that's not a thing, buddy.
That's not a thing?
No.
Nancy doesn't drive and you sleep?
No, she does, but there's no way I'm going to sleep in the passenger seat while she's driving for us. It's funny. I always felt bad falling asleep on my spouse when she's driving.
I
can't do that. I don't want to be that dude. I think that's such a dick move.
Why?
I just think it is.
What if you're tired and you want to go to sleep?
I think it's so
why is it a dick move?
I just think it's dick.
What if you ask for permission and your spouse is like, yeah, go for it. Get some sleep. I know you work hard. I know you're tired. This is a perfect opportunity to catch up on some rest.
I suppose I was never like the fall asleep guy in the passenger seat. Are you the fall asleep guy? Are you the dick?
Yeah, totally.
Oh my God, you are?
I'll go to sleep in the passenger seat. Yeah, hell yeah.
Really?
Yeah, why not? Why? It's a perfect time to take a nap.
Or he's like, yeah, you're good, catch some Z's.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, so we will say, if she wants, if she's falling asleep, driving and she wants company, I'll stay up. If she's tired, but if she doesn't care, then.
Do you guys log a lot of road miles?
Wait, no, probably not as much as you guys do.
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't fall asleep. I don't, for whatever reason. I just never wanted, because I don't like people.
Oh, because you must not be such a dick. You must be.
I don't like when people do it to me, so I don't do it. It says that. Maybe I don't like people fall asleep on me. So
what do you care?
I don't know.
Then it's like you're driving by yourself.
Listen,
handle that?
Of course I can. I've done it a ton of times. But I'm not the fall asleep guy.
No, you're not.
No,
I see that.
I never was.
No, not this guy.
Not this guy.
Not you.
Not this guy.
Nope.
Definitely not me. For whatever reason.
Oh, because you're not a dick. We already established that.
And you are? Is that what we established?
According to you, according to your metrics, I am. So I don't know.
Anywho.
But
yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun at this event.
Yeah.
And then we're going to drive out to Penn State, and I'm going to hope to not fall asleep in the passenger.
No, you won't, because you're not a dick.
Listen, it's going to be a long day, though.
It will be a long day. Whatever. It won't be your last long day either.
No, that's for sure. So, and then then we're not back to our house for quite some time.
Oh, man. Must be rough living out of those suitcases in fancy hotels.
It's pretty long when hockey's actually popping up on our stuff right now. It's funny.
It's because it's listening. That's crazy.
It clearly is, right? All of a sudden, long when hockey's like.
I don't know why what your phone is does this often, huh?
It's just banners. It's just the alerts.
Oh.
Yeah. So I see.
Oh, got it. So you don't think it has to do with us talking about it? There was just
it does. So
gotcha.
that was just a coincidence.
All right. So what do you got going on hockey wise?
What do I got going on hockey wise? We've been shooting a bunch. Dominic's boxing, obviously. So
when you say we, you mean him?
Yeah, and it's not me. When I say we, it's not me.
You got you.
No, when I just say we, I don't know why I say we. It's all Dominic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just drive and pay.
Yes.
So he's been doing a lot of shooting with our buddy Ryan Murphy.
Good. That's a lot.
We had another. He was. I think they had Devils.
Again.
They had Devils development camp, so we were off for a week. So we missed him for a week, and then we started again. So we were there today. We were down with Ryan Murphy today, and I actually want to talk about this too because I think we all, especially when our kids are younger, I'm sure there's a lot of people with me. I always want Dominic to shoot hockey pucks in the driveway, right? Like you do too. You want Otto to shoot hockey pucks.
Yeah.
So I was always in the volume is better category.
Quality over quantity.
Correct. I was always in that quantity over.
Right.
I always wanted to just go and then figure out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. And it's funny too, because now as I'm getting older and I'm seeing and Dominic's getting older, I'm gravitating more toward the quality over quantity and doing it right versus.
Yeah, but that changes at some point. At some point, you need less volume and you need the quality.
And
at some point, you just need to get used to using the stick.
And I guess we're there.
Yeah, you're at a point where it's not about shooting as many pucks as humanly possible. It's about getting quality reps.
Correct.
No doubt.
And listen, it also helps when you have a coach that knows what they're doing. right? We're lucky enough to have New Jersey Devils skills coach Ryan Murphy, who we had on the podcast. He was wonderful. So I watched him now. I've seen him now twice.
Okay.
All right. And listening to him when he talks to Dominic, like, and I asked Dominic, Dominic, let me ask you a question. I'm like, is it different listening to him than like other coaches that you hear? I'm like, cause he's like an NHL skills coach, right? And he says, yes, there's certain different things that he teaches that don't get taught.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to reveal what those are?
He didn't tell me what they were, but he's like, there's things that he's ever
You should
heard.
ask him.
I will. I will. Next time I'll come back and I'll give you some kind of details.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool though. You know, so he's now, all right. So he obviously changed Dominic's stick. I was telling you on the last pod or 2 pods ago. Dominic was using a 30 flex.
Yeah.
And he was airmailing the crossbar.
So he's at a 40 now.
So he was at a 40. We tried a 50. So he brought the 50 today.
Oh, did they cut it down?
So it's fun. All right. So
he's like, return it.
he has a 40. Sorry. He has a 40, 52 inch. Does that sound right? Cut down to a 51. Okay. So it's probably a 45, 43.
Right. I think it's like 5 per inch.
Correct. Right. So, and then we have a 50 not cut, which is a 54 inch. Okay. So, so he shot with the 50 in the driveway. He's like, it's too stiff. Right. And the 30 is too whippy. So he was shooting pucks yesterday with the 40.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys, like, it feels weird. And I'm watching him like drill pucks into the top corner. And I look at him and I go, hey, buddy, I understand it feels weird. I go, but it looks pretty good to me.
Right.
Right. So today, Nathan and I dropped him off with Ryan. And we went to in town and Ken came back with like 10 minutes left. And Ryan comes out. He's like, that's the stick.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's like, that's the stick. Apparently he was doing very well with it. But I guess my point is that when you know the correct mechanics to shoot, I don't want to say it's easy. It's not easy. But when you know the correct mechanics to shoot, the stick should do most of the work. Right?
That's what I'm told because I don't shoot correctly.
Neither do I. I
let's be clear about that.
I don't even play the game, right? So you're well ahead of me. But I guess the more of the stories. So as Dominic's getting older and I'm watching, gear and stuff like that and getting with like higher level coaches, I'm gravitating more toward the quality over the quantity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Of course.
I'd rather shoot like 50 really good pucks with good mechanics.
With instruction.
Than like 500 just kind of like throwing them to the.
Yeah, but don't you think at some point, like once he has like the mechanics, at least at this point, dialed in,
then you dial in,
then you can get more quantity.
Then no question about it. Yes, I guess you're right. I guess it's going to ebb and flow. Right?
It's going to ebb and flow as you're like, but once you have your shot dialed in, you should shoot more just to get more reps.
Yeah, sure.
To a point. To a point.
I'm curious where fatigue factors into that.
Mine's after 4 shots. 4 shots, my arms are toast.
It starts to hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't do it right. No, it doesn't hurt. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But it's just like I was talking to someone on the bench because I played pickup yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Saw a Pacific Rink bag in the locker room.
Did you?
Nice.
Pretty sweet, right?
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Speaking of Pacific Rink.
What about?
We're interviewing Brad tomorrow.
Oh, I know.
Brad Serkins, one of the 2 founders of Pacific Rink tomorrow.
Yep. That's going to be great. Looking forward to that one for sure.
Brad's going to be on the podcast shortly. So be looking out for Brad Serkin from Pacific Rink.
Yes. But pickup, talking to a guy on the bench.
Yeah.
And we were just, there's a guy that plays pickup that played in the the ECHL.
Mm-hmm.
And guy's lights out, right? Like,
yeah, sure.
And he's like head and shoulders better than the next best player on the ice.
I'm sure.
But just when I was watching him and I was just talking to another guy and it's like amazing how like effortless they just makes like all this look. And then I was like saying how like on my men's league team, there's a kid that played club for Quinnipiac.
Okay.
And
club for Quinnipiac.
Right. Played club. And
so not even D1, but he played club.
This guy's also like
he's nasty, right?
He's definitely nasty.
Yeah.
But just the way that he shoots the puck, like I can't believe how
just looks different, doesn't it?
It looks different. Number one, and then number two, just like it is going so fast. The puck is, and it just seems with such little effort. I was just telling this guy on the bench who was like, like me also. And I'm just like, dude, isn't it like so frustrating when you go out there and like you try to like either emulate or
it's not working.
Yeah, man. Makes me want to practice my shot.
I get it. It's funny you say that because when Ryan was texting later on this afternoon, as he got done, I was asking how Dominic did. And he says, it's supposed to look effortless, but with power.
Right.
He's like, that's how you know it's what he's doing is working.
Right.
And he said that's what he was gravitating toward, which is great. So I'm curious to see what that's going to look.
Maybe I should sign up for a session with Murph.
He's great, man. I got to tell you, and you want to hear something awesome? We're talking about like how hard they shoot.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you now. So
how hard who shoots?
I'm going to tell you.
The NHLers.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
So we get done with Dom's lesson today.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, and Murph's like, I gotta go. I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay. So
we go to, so where it is, it's the shooting lane's upstairs,
mm-hmm.
and the rig is down.
Right.
So we come down and we notice there's like older people on the rink.
Right? Oh, older professionals.
Murph got on the rink, and there's some older, big people on the rink.
What do you mean big people? Like giants?
Big.
What are you talking? Are you talking?
They're not kids.
So you're looking at the ice and you notice there's grown men on the ice.
Murph jumped on the ice with 3 dudes.
Yeah.
A very big goalie.
Yeah.
Another kid who was like Murph's size.
Yeah.
The kids. These are like these are men.
Yeah.
Okay. Young men.
Yeah, I got it.
And another really, really tall dude wearing a Florida Panthers red practice jersey.
Oh, Kachuk was on the ice. Brady Kachuk was on the ice.
Correct.
Working with Murphy?
Yes.
Really?
Swear.
That's crazy.
I stayed and watched.
Do you take video?
I didn't want to.
Why?
So I felt like a jackass.
You are a jackass.
I felt like a jackass. I didn't want to be that dude.
Well, you are that. Well, I mean, you should have been.
I will ask him if I'm allowed. Why do you keep hitting my camera?
Shit. Oh, shit.
You're effing up our entire production here.
I know.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, man. So we're talking about like, it just looks different when people that know how to shoot. So first of all, the amount of saucers that they were throwing all over the ice was
ew sauce. Like
the saucers were everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, it didn't matter the distance.
Yeah.
Whether it was
just
short.
Like tape to tape.
And it was like, whether it was short and touchy, right? Or it was like long, like it didn't matter. It didn't matter the distance. They were just throwing the forehand back in. It didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
And number one, the puck moves just so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, when Brady shoots, I mean, it looks so.
That's crazy that he was at the rink.
Okay.
Who else was on the ice with him? Wait, you didn't even get an autograph or a picture?
I didn't.
Why?
I didn't.
You just stay until the end?
I didn't stay until the end. Yeah. We left. We probably left when they were like had 5 minutes left, was my guess.
God.
My guess is they were doing an hour.
Dude, you could have gone up to him and be like, bro, you could have been
sure
like, yo, wingman, crazy hockey dad,
listen,
let's go.
Don't think I didn't think about that.
Well, you didn't even.
I thought about it. Don't think I didn't think about it. But I got to tell you, so just like I'm not this fall asleep in the passenger seat guy, I'm also not the, hey, go up to dudes and get their autograph guy.
Okay.
Like if I see a famous person, I don't go up to them and be like, bro, can I go autograph for him?
Well, doesn't it depend who the famous person is, maybe?
Not really.
Listen, I personally,
I'm just not that guy. You know what I mean?
Listen, you wouldn't be that guy for someone who like was always been like you've always been a fan of.
Do you know who I would do that for?
Who?
The president of the United States, no matter who it is. I would do that. Okay. I would go up and shake that gentleman's hand.
Okay.
But like celebrity, like I've run into people in my life, and I don't like. I'm just not that dude.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Fair.
Yeah, Dominic hunts him down.
Yeah.
Like Dominic hunted down Trevor's Egos when we were in Tampa.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like I'm just not that guy.
Right.
Are you that guy?
Not necessarily. I would consider saying hello under certain circumstances.
I mean, if somebody introduced me, that's a story.
No, but I would walk up to someone and say hi. I've done it before. Oh, what do you mean? We did it when we were at the
yes, you did. You went up to Mike Richter. That's right, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. We walked right behind and I didn't even recognize him.
Oh,
you recognized him.
I recognized him.
Yeah. Didn't even turn around and walk by and you're like, yeah, that was fucking Mike Richter.
Let's go back.
That's right. You are that guy.
Well, I mean, listen, but listen, if I was there, like just with Otto, maybe I would have gone back. I think it depends. We were there for, crazy hockey dads.
Right.
You don't know where that conversation might go. Like, it's like, it's more like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like if I was walking down the street and Mike Richter walked past me, I mean, like maybe, but
yeah,
it's not like I don't seek it out. You know what I mean?
The most I've ever really done is I walked by Woody Johnson in Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
And I
told him to sell it to you. No.
I should have. You're not actually.
What did you do?
So I think, if I remember correctly, when it happened, the Jets were actually decent because it was under Rex Ryan.
Okay.
So it was years ago.
Okay.
So I didn't tell him to sell.
You didn't have your daggers up then.
I did not. You're 100% right. The fangs were not out yet. They are now, but they weren't out at the time. Now I just want Gary Vee to buy them. And it's funny. He was just walking down walking down 55th or something like that.
A street.
Yeah, I think it was 50th, Midtown, right? And he was wearing his Jets hat. I recognized him immediately. And I think I said like, go Jets, and I'm like that.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not like that. You know what? I would rather tell Dominic, if Dominic walks by somebody he knows, I'm like, why don't you go over and say hi?
Yeah.
So let him know, Sam.
I've, so it's funny when you mentioned Dominic, I've definitely not with celebrities, but for things that I might not have asked like another human being for, like, I don't know. Again, this is so like off topic but I don't know, like as opposed to searching for the bathroom, like go ask for the bathroom or whatever the deal is.
Right.
I always encourage my kids to go up to people and like, what they ask me for something. I don't know. Go ask the person that works here. I don't know where it is.
Absolutely.
And then they'll be, but I'm scared. I'm like,
that's why you should do it.
I'm like, exactly.
That's exactly why.
That's why you should. So then I always
figure it out.
So now my kids are like really good at like
at doing for themselves,
like, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm like, yo, Otto, listen, go get the check and ask the lady, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no problem.
And have them pay for it too.
Yes. Say Seabass.
Seabass. It sounds Seabass and the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
The boys. Right. No, but yeah. So we're talking about shooting like this motherfucker shoots hard.
Yeah. Who? Oh, Brady Kachuk does. Is he known to have a cannon? I mean, all the guys on the ice must have. Who's the goalie?
So the goalie was a kid that apparently was just signed by the Panthers, a local kid from like Long Island.
Why are Devil's skills coaches like
because he's the man, dude.
Teaching the Florida Panthers.
Well, they're all off season.
Yeah.
And they're from this area.
Yeah.
And the other dude was the other guy that was there,
so it wasn't a Devils specific thing. It was just like a pro skate.
Yeah, the other guy was a Bruins draft pick.
Ah, okay, got you. I thought it was like a Devils thing.
No. The other guy was a Bruins draft pick who was playing for the Providence Bruins right now.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so like two AHL guys for the most part, and obviously
Higgins?
No, local kid from Del Barn.
Oh yeah,
he played at Harvard. Oh my God, his name's escaping me. John. Oh my God, it's escaping me, and I can't remember this right now.
Wait, is Higgins from Long Island?
He is, yeah.
Higgins is.
Yeah, Higgins from Long Island.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think so. Yeah,
that's what I thought maybe it was.
Oh my God, I'm like blanking on the kid's name.
Good job, buddy.
I want to say Fibonacci. It's not Fibonacci, but it's something along those lines. Oh my God, Harvard kid, Del Barden for high school, Harvard, and then now he's on the Providence Bruins. I think he played a game. I think he got called up for a game for the Bruins, and he's still in the minor league system. Harvard kid, local kid. He's a. I think he's from down.
Why not just look it up?
John
Farinacci.
Farinacci, thank you.
John Farinacci.
Right.
He's an 01.
Right.
Yep.
It looked good.
Yeah, he made his he graduated in 23 from Harvard. He made his NHL debut with the Bruins in 2025. Native of Red Bank, so right there.
Yeah, he's a local kid. Yeah. I think two of them were local kids. Obviously, Brady's not so local, but Brady's. I'm pretty sure Brady's family lives around here. I think his wife is from Jersey.
Right, you had mentioned that.
Yeah, I think that's true. So he's working out, down there with Ryan, which is pretty awesome.
Right.
That was pretty sweet to kind of stumble upon.
Yeah, that's wild. I would have never. Yeah, that's crazy.
You can't miss it.
No.
Physically imposing when he gets on the ice. He's big boy.
Yeah, he's like a whole head taller than his brother.
He's. I want to say he's like 6'4", 6'5".
He's a big dude.
Big.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
When we were talking about when it looks different when they're shooting,
Yeah.
It looks different when they're shooting.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Um.
They were doing this sick drill, where I mean, they tip the puck so effortlessly.
Oh my God, dude.
So effortless.
But dude, that's like, okay.
It looks so good.
I know we're talking about NHLers, but like at my men's league game or whatever, my pickup game.
Yeah.
This dude that played in the coast, that was another thing that was just like, he makes look effortless. So like he'll be defending and like someone's sending like a pass, like, you know, a sauce pass, like somewhere.
Yes.
And like
kicks it out of the air.
He just takes it out of the air.
Dude.
And like he's done it enough where it's like,
well, it's not an
act, like not even a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like,
it wasn't a one-off.
He doesn't do it every time, but he did it to me. He did it to someone else. And it's just like, bro,
dude, I'm telling you, they were throwing saucers, basically shooting saucers at each other, like standing in front of the net, and they were tipping everything. They were tipping the spray, they were tipping it, then taking it out of that net, and then like firing on the goalie who was right beyond the net. So they put a net close to the goalie in front.
Oh,
so it was a tip,
and then they would retrieve that puck
and go around either side, like left or right, and then shoot them.
That, you know what, another thing is also like just a joy to watch sometimes is like, and same thing with this guy, is just when they're so filthy on their backhand, like just watching people pick corners on their backhand, you're like, dude, how do you do that?
All right. So Brady had one. It's so funny that you said that. So I was literally thinking this. And Brady kind of comes down on the left side. And I don't even know how he got it up into the top right corner. I don't even know.
Right.
It almost looked like it was a backhand with one hand.
Right.
It was like, I don't even know the puck got to where it went. I looked at Dominic and Nancy. I'm like, how
did that happen?
Dom's like, that was that one hand. I'm like, I don't even know what I just saw.
Right.
The puck just ended up in the top corner. Like, and I didn't realize how it got there. And still, as I'm thinking about it, I still don't understand how it got there.
Right.
Because of his body placement and where the puck was and where his stick was. I don't understand how it got to where it was.
Dude, that's why they get paid the big bucks.
It was crazy. Yeah. So we kind of stumbled upon that today.
That's so cool. What a treat.
Right? Yeah. I was gonna call you when we were there, but I'm like, you know what? I'm like, let me see.
To the FaceTime, you dickhead.
Well, I wanted to save it for this, so you had like
so I can use my memory or my imagination
so I can
imagine how hard those shots were when I could have in fact watched them with you.
Jesus Christ. So speaking of NHLers,
who
do we have today?
Erik Cole.
Erik
Dog.
Cole, 15-year NHL vet.
Yes, played over 800 games, won a Stanley Cup. That's what's up.
With the Carolina Hurricanes. Right?
Yeah, man. So this was a great introduction. Great to talk to him, just to hear more about, you know, what life is like at like the higher levels and kind of like what he went through, and also being a hockey dad. And, you know, we covered a lot of topics.
We did. Yes. The man can talk.
Oh, yes. But like, yeah, no, but look, I was listening to the whole thing, just like taking it in. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, he was fun, man.
Yeah, no.
I feel like we need to have part 2 with him.
Well, we certainly could do a part 2 with him for sure.
I feel like there was so much more we didn't get into.
No, I would agree with that. Yeah, no, especially like some of the dad stuff and like when he was coaching as well. And
exactly,
you know,
and he's coaching again now.
He's coaching again now. Yes. But now he's like
older kids.
Older. Right. But what was I going to say was, we were talking about like he could talk, and it's funny because he was sitting outside on his porch.
Chop it out.
But no, but when he was sitting on it, like, so it was at the time of day. It was like the end of the day.
I knew you were going to say this.
You just saw the sun, like all of a sudden,
the light disappearing
through it. It's like you see him clearly, and then all of a sudden,
the light
he's like
disappearing. Yes, he was on his porch, and the light was disappearing. It's funny about that because he's in the same time zone we are, and I was looking at his screen. I saw his screen when we first started, his screen was pretty light.
Yeah.
And then I looked outside my window and mine was not. So it was lighter where he was for whatever reason.
It might be.
Maybe there's more trees around me.
East. And it could be. Yeah.
Maybe. But his background stayed lighter much longer than mine did.
Well, you're getting cheated out of natural sunlight somehow.
Clearly.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
You better have a conversation with someone.
But Erik was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a really, really good interview.
Yeah. So what do you think? You want to send it over to him?
Absolutely.
Let's do it, everyone. Enjoy this episode, this interview with Erik Cole, former Stanley Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, everybody. Welcome to another interview here on Crazy Hockey Dads. And today's guest is someone who played nearly 900 games in the NHL, won a Stanley Cup with Carolina, represented Team USA, and has just built an amazing career over multiple years. I think it was maybe 17 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, Erik. But we got Erik Cole on the line tonight to talk about his journey, from youth to NCAA to the NHL, winning the Cup, and everything that comes in between. Erik, thanks so much for joining us tonight, man.
Yeah, happy to be here. 15 years total pro.
15, okay.
13 in the league, just due to the 1 year with the lockout, and I spent 1 year in the minors. But
right.
Very, very fortunate to have the career that I had.
Yes. Yeah, it's unreal just going through your hockey DB, your elite prospects page or whatever it is. But for any of the listeners, if you just if you can kind of set the table and just kind of high level stuff, in terms of your years in the NHL, kind of the teams you played for, the highs, the lows, and then we definitely want to rewind the tape and talk about just youth hockey for you growing up and your kids as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, so at the higher levels, I was drafted by the Carolina Hurricanes in the third round in 1998. The franchise had just moved here in 97. So it was, new franchise, new market, but I had a leg up. My sister moved to the Raleigh area in 94, 95. So I knew all about it. I think honestly, it's why they drafted me.
Really?
The draft was I honestly think it was the draft was in Buffalo, and I had I was waiting for another interview. I was standing around the hotel waiting, and my agent was like, "Hey, Carolina wants to have a quick word with you. You mind taking this quick interview?" And I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, we got this great new market, and it's Raleigh, North Carolina." I'm like, "Yeah, I know all about it, guys." I bet, I've been to Rockola, whatever. They're like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "My sister moved there a couple years ago. I got this." But so I was drafted by Carolina. Fortunately, it was, obviously, it all worked out. I'm still here in the Carolinas. But I was drafted by them, came into, I left Clarkson after my third season, and decided it was time to move on from Clarkson. I didn't feel like there was anything left there for me. One, to prove, and two, I didn't feel like my development was going to increase at all. There, it was time to.
Right.
If I stayed, it would have been a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I mean, my junior year was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest with you. Between the coach and everything, it was not an ideal situation for any athlete, whether you were drafted or not drafted. And it was just time to move on. So I did. I went out and I played the last 9 games of the regular season, so that way my contract didn't kick in. If I played 10 or more, my contract would have kicked in on that year.
Yep.
So they bought themselves an extra year with me on my entry level.
Right.
So I played the last 9 games of the regular season, played a bit in the playoffs here and there, not a regular in the lineup. Still feeling my way through the minors and through professional hockey. But the fun fact about it was I played in the IHL, which obviously no longer exists. So I was a part of the IHL for the last little bit of its second to last season in existence. Before the the league got turned upside down. Obviously, the NHL wanted just one farm system, and wanted to have it all just kind of streamlined. Streamlined and be able to just navigate it that way, which you don't fault them for that at all.
Right.
But so it was a great experience. I ended up spending 1 year in the minors. I came into my first pro training camp just scared to death. Didn't want to make a mistake. Was just trying to just be very efficient in everything, and just not stick out in a negative way. I forgot the fact that you need to stick out in a positive way at some point. So I learned my lesson there.
Right.
Spent a full year in the minors. We only had one call up the entire season. from the Cyclones. His name was Greg Keeler. It's actually a really great article on The Athletic about it. He played one shift. He jumped over the boards, skated up and down the ice for like 30 seconds, whistle blows, a penalty got called. He never saw another shift.
Wow.
Not only the rest of that game,
Rest of his career? Wow.
in the NHL. Yeah. Like he still like carved out like some really good numbers and really good seasons in the minors.
Yeah.
But that was his, like that was his chance, right?
That's crazy.
Like, which is ridiculous. And Keels was great for us that year. He scored north of 30 goals. I think he scored 35 like that year. He was tough. He was fighting guys. Like, he just like
Right.
he had such a great season. It was weird how it all panned out. And obviously, I was a drafted player that they had invested in me, and I don't know if that was the case as to why like I got the opportunity the next season, but I went back to training camp very, very determined that I wasn't leaving Raleigh this year, and was able to somehow find a way to convince them to let me stay. It was a long road. It was a lot of late nights. I was married with a kid, and I'm doing bottle feeding at 2 a.m.
Not easy. Yeah, not easy.
In a hotel room, and it was just. But I had a reason to be there, and I had other people that were depending on me, and I was very, very determined in my second training camp, and it worked out. They allowed me to stay, and we went on a great run that year, and I got my foot in the door, and then it was just the next probably three years or so was just trying to figure out where I fit in and what kind of player I was going to be, or what kind of player I was even capable of being. I basically spent the first decade of the 2000s in the Hurricanes organization. I had a brief run up to Edmonton, where I got traded in 2008 to the Oilers right on July 1st. I think as soon as the clock struck noon
for the trade deadline.
And no, it was for free agency.
I got you.
Once the salary cap jumped, they could fit it, and the trade was like, it was ready to go. First ticker on there, I think. So traded to Edmonton for that 8-9 season, but I got traded back to Carolina that same season after 63 games, and
that's a wild ride right there.
It was really weird. Yeah, like it was. I mean, it was really strange because I woke up that morning. We were in Ottawa. We were on a road trip. There was a lot of noise around the Phoenix Coyotes at one point. There was just, so many different rumors as to where I was going, but it was made pretty clear to me that I probably wasn't not getting moved on the deadline that day. We sat there and we watched all the coverage. We were in Ottawa. I mean, of course, I had a camera on me the entire, practice that we ran in Ottawa that morning. And I probably should have been a day off for me, but, we had played in Nashville the night before. Felt like I needed to get out there and stretch the legs. And, it was just weird. Sheldon Surrey told me that morning on the bus, he's like, "Hey, my guy says it's you and Bobby Nielsen are headed to LA for O'Sullivan and Frolov, the big winger Russian guy." And by the end of day, the deadline passes, and me and the younger crew in Edmonton, Bobby Nielsen, Sam Gagner, Tom Gilbert, Andrew Cogliano, we headed out to go grab like a late lunch, and then we were going to hit a movie and grab dinner, and and head back to the hotel. And next thing you know, my buddy Murray Kuntz, who's an agent out of Toronto now, he and I played together at Clarkson. He calls me and he's like, "Oh, hey, back to Carolina, eh?" And I was like,
What?
What are you talking about? We're sitting at lunch, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't know?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know."
That's crazy.
So that's how that whole thing went down. Like I never knew like the pieces of the puzzle or anything like that until the next day. It was kind of bittersweet coming back to Raleigh and finding out that Justin Williams, who was one of my really good friends, while I played on the Hurricanes, and he and I were in the 18th fairway playing a round of golf when it got announced that I was going to Edmonton. So it's just like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So it's, you come back to town and then you realize you find out like who went the other way, and you're just like, oh crap.
Yeah.
So worst trade ever, like for sure. I mean, the guy went on to win 2 more cups than Conn Smythe. So like,
oh God.
Yeah, who's laughing now, right? But no, he just, it's just weird how those things happen. But I was a free agent at the end of that season, and we looked at other opportunities. There were a lot of other opportunities with some organizations that had kind of coveted me for a couple of years, or just kind of, you hear things from friends in the business and from your agent, himself, just filling you in on things. And Steve Bartlett was always my agent, still is to this day.
Yeah.
Lifelong, bond there. He's always been great for me and my family and looking out for me. But when it boiled down to it, if I were to have left Raleigh that off season, it would have made for like, I think like a move to any city, no matter what it would have been 5 different school systems for like my daughter in, like
it's a lot.
year and a half, like calendar, like year. And, it just didn't seem worth it. This is where I wanted to be. And, I always loved my time here. Obviously, like I said, I had ties here to the area with my sister and everything. And, it was a great place to play, great place to raise your family. And so we made the decision to stay. And then 2 years later, we missed out on the playoffs. I came back for the 2009 run where we lost to Pittsburgh. They went on to win it. The next year we went veteran heavy, didn't work out. And then the year after that, they decided to go younger, and we missed out. All we had to do was win a hockey game on the last day of the regular season, or have the Rangers lose
to make the playoffs.
And neither one of those things happened, unfortunately. And we went into that off season, open-minded about everything. But the initial phone call from Jim Rutherford to Steve Bartlett did not go over very well with Steve. And he relayed it to me, which, I always appreciated him being, very candid with me. And then seeing like some of the guys that we were re-signing, we re-signed Joni Pikkanen to a contract that year. And I was like, what are we doing here? We tried to trade this guy for 5 months. Like, why
are we re-inking him? Yeah, what's going on here?
Why are we re-signing him for another 4 years? It didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then on top of that, they called Steve and they were like, "Yeah, great news. We want to re-sign him, but we want to pay him what we paid him this year." And Steve's like, "Whoa. No. We took a haircut, the last time around." Right. And, he had a great season, and he should be rewarded for it. And And so they went back and forth for a bit, and then we signed UC Okinen for like a 3-year, $3 million contract. And I think at the time they were offering me like 2 for, 2.5, 2.9, something like that. And I was just like, yeah, no, we're at least gonna explore the open market and see what's out there. I mean, I had a good season. I was finally felt healthy again, which was the bigger thing, like going into all that, like that last season here in Carolina. Joe Corvo and I were roommates, workout buddies, hung out away from the rink all the time together. Our kids were the same age. And I finally was able to have a summer reboot because that season after the 09 Cup run, my left hand went numb for like 3 months. I got told to retire, and it was my lowest like game total of my career. I think I only played like 41 games like max. And just it was a real struggle. I had to get a second opinion to keep my career going, that kind of thing. And I had a great summer with Joe in the gym. Was back to finally being healthy, being myself, feeling strong on the ice, and I had a great year to back it up. So it was a little disappointing at the end of the day that Carolina didn't have as much value as I hoped they would have in bringing me back, because I felt like I wasn't wearing a letter or anything like that, but was a good mentor for Skinner and some of their younger players that they were bringing into the fold. And that was when Montreal came in, and we had other offers other than Montreal, but Montreal was willing to throw on the 4th year in terms of the term of the contract. And at the end of the day, Carolina's offer to me wasn't anywhere close to the offer from Montreal. Right. And so they didn't even really make it very tough on me in terms of the decision. I think they just assumed because I liked it here so much and the family ties and everything that it's well, yeah, like, and it's that's kind of one of the tough things with when you're on the player side of it, because they'll make business decisions about you, but when you make a business decision, they take it personal. And it, like, in my opinion, it's reciprocal, right? Like when they make a business decision about you, you take it personal.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So it in my opinion, it should be a two-way street. It's not always viewed as a two-way street from the organization's standpoint, and however they want to try and spin it with the fans and whatnot. But yeah, it just it was it was an opportunity to, and especially it was the Habs, right? Like, I was a point per game guy against Montreal. I loved playing in that building. I'm from Northern New York.
Yeah, it was a good fit.
It was. I mean, there's a reason I scored 35 the next season, right? Like I was, and I barely got an opportunity like at the start of the season there from Jacques Martin. Like I wasn't on the power play. I was playing third line minutes. I was just like, why did they bring me here for this? Like, they brought me here for this. Like, it was, and it wasn't until the coaching changes were made and everything, and I got more of an opportunity, and I was playing with great players and Desharnais and Pacioretty, and we clicked, and it all worked out. We had a great season together. Unfortunately, team wise, we had a terrible season. We had so many injuries to some key guys that it just it was too much to overcome. And you go into the next season where there's a lockout coming, and there's a complete overhaul in management, coaching staff, everything. And then, combine that with the lockout, and I gave an interview during the lockout because I became really good friends with the guys on Sirius XM radio. They would come to Oswego for my charity event when I was doing the Erik Cole Dream Big Foundation fundraiser and everything. And, I'm having a conversation with them on the radio, and they're like, asking me about heading overseas again, which I did in the 2004 lockout. I went to Berlin, won a championship. It was a great experience.
Oh, you won a championship over there?
That's cool. I didn't know that.
It was
That's
awesome.
unreal.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But and now, Berlin's won, 12 championships, whatever it is. Like they've been a wagon. They've been a
wagon is right. Yeah.
Ever since that year. Like it was crazy. But yeah, they were asking me if I was gonna, head out and go play like overseas somewhere, and I was like, I know these guys personally, and I give an off the cuff answer, and I'm like, man, you got a better chance of seeing me retire than head over to Europe again or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, no, like I'm not going over there. And then, of course, now the next headline is like, oh, Erik Cole's, says he's going to retire, this, that. And I'm like,
oh no,
thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah. They did me a real solid there for that little quip.
Jesus.
Well,
So you won multiple championships. I mean, you won an NCAA title, you won a Stanley Cup, and you won one overseas. I mean,
Well, no. So NCAA was just it was just league titles, not a national championship.
okay. It was an ECAC championship.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
But one that we took a lot of pride in, especially that year. Like we'll circle back to the college stuff
Definitely.
later, but
Yep.
so we had the shortened season lockout, like our skates, like as they always do during a lockout, they dissipate as time rolls on, right? Like guys are staying in shape, want to be on the ice, and then next thing you know, you're losing guys to teams in Europe, and your group that was 30 skaters,
Right.
is now suddenly somewhere between 10 and 15.
Jeez.
So it changes and it evolves as the lockout continues. Come out of the lockout, and we've got new GM, new coaching staff, everything. For some reason, they thought it was a good idea to split up Pacioretty and Desharnais and I, and kind of like, and they kind of pinned it on us, like you guys aren't playing well together, and so they decided to split us up, which we all hated. And then before you know it, I'm getting offered to waive my no trade to go to Dallas. I've got a former teammate, Ray Whitney, who's there at the time. He's actually the one that called me. He called me and said, "Hey, I got an interesting phone call from my owner." I was like, "Oh, this can't be good." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe don't say anything just yet." And he's like, "But our owner called me asking if you'd be a good fit here." And I was like, "Okay." Well, and then I'm thinking back to like my no trade list and everything, and I'm like,
Dallas.
yeah, I don't. Actually, it wasn't like I didn't submit a no trade list. I submitted a trade that I would be willing to accept.
Right.
So those are the teams that I submitted, not the other way around.
Was Dallas on that list?
They were not on
I
the
didn't
list.
think so. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I get that phone call from Ray. I talk about it with Brian Gianta. Like the next day, we're bussing to Ottawa for a game, and I'm just kind of hashing it out with him, and he's like, whatever. It's it's rumors, like all this. Sure enough, we're playing in Ottawa like that Sunday, and it's in the Ottawa papers like that morning, like saying that there's a rumor of this possibly happening, all this, whatever. I was just like, here we go. So play in Ottawa that Sunday night, travel to Toronto from there. And then we had a practice day in Toronto on that Monday. And then we had like our NHLPA meetings with the doctors and security meetings and, you know, stuff we do each and every year early in the season. And I get a phone call from Steve Bartlett, like in the middle of the meeting. Brian Gianta's sitting next to me, and I just show him my phone that it's Steve Bartlett. Step out of the room, answer the phone call, and I'm like, let me guess, they want me to waive my no trade to go to Dallas. He's like, man, he's like, you're a little bit more in tune with everything than I give you credit for. I'm like, yeah. I got a call two days ago. I'm like, what's the deal? And he's like, you know, he explained it to me, and then, you know, they were requesting a decision by like end of day, like not even end of day, like end of like, you know, NHL hockey day, like
right.
where they're going to have to pull a guy out of the lineup, you know, by 5 p.m. kind of thing.
Right.
So there was a definite deadline on it. I've got about, you know, 4 or 5 hours to make a decision, you know, call Ray Whitney, speak with him about it again, call my then wife, talk to her a bit about it, have her call Ray and Bridget Whitney, who we, you know, played with in Carolina and everything. And you just, you know, you're going through the whole thing. I went downstairs to meet Brian Gianta and Travis Moen for lunch, and Mark Bergevin like was in the lobby. He grabbed me and pulled me aside. He was the GM at the time in Montreal, and he started explaining it to me and talking to me about the whole, like how it came up, and you know, Dallas called and the salary cap was coming down. We had, you know, that because through that lockout is where we went to 50-50 with the owners. So that changed things a little bit and kind of, you know, it hiked up escrow, put the pinch on everybody. And he's like, you know, all of a sudden we started looking at it and, you know, you've got a few more years of term. Like it started making sense to us. And
Right.
he's like, maybe, you know, he's like, you know, if it's not this deal, you know, maybe it's another one. I can look at your accepted trade list and see who else is out there that's, you know, a possibility. And I think at that point I just wanted to keep it like under my own control. And, you know, I knew Ray was out there, so I had a familiar face right away. And, you know, Ray's like, you know, like you're not going to be out of the top 6 out here. Like, you know, like just, you know, like make the call. So I accepted it. But it was difficult leaving that group in Montreal. I ordered up a bunch of beers to the hotel room and I put it out there on the group chat that we had going like through the whole lockout. And I said, fellas, I got some news. I'm in room whatever I was at the Harbor Castle. I said, I need you guys to stop by and have a chat with me. And so the guys, you know, came by the room and, you know, we talked about it, and, you know, I told them how I was waiving my no trade to go, but, you know, just wanted to remind them it wasn't a situation where, you know, it wasn't that I didn't believe in, you know, what they were doing in the group that they had. And, you know, I wish there was a way that I could stay and be a part of it, but it's not looking that way. And, you know, this is, you know, tough lesson, but it's the business side of it. Yeah. And, you know, you deal with it and you move forward. So
let me ask you a quick question on that. And you just brought something that I never maybe even like thought of, but when a player moves or gets traded, and do you get a lot of players that kind of look at, you know, whatever player is being traded and being like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing, guy? Like, does that type of thing come up as like a player response to another player when one moves?
It has to.
Yeah. There's always going to be guys, you know, I mean, these guys are your teammates, right? Like,
yeah.
So like they, you know, they either want you around or, maybe they're, somebody that wants you gone, whatever. But like,
Right.
Right.
there's always going to be like those types of conversations. Like for me, the look on like Desharnais and Pacioretty's face was pretty tough on them. Carey Price was another one that stood out. Josh George's, Gio and I had already talked about it, so like, we kind of anticipated that it was a strong possibility that something might happen.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and especially when you go through the season that we had in Montreal together, it was just a lousy season. Everyone gets fired. We had so many injuries that were just so difficult to overcome, and yeah, but you kind of you bond through those times, like
the adversity.
Like a guy like Josh George's, he and I were the only two guys on the roster that played all 82 games that
Oh, wow.
season.
Nobody else
Right?
did.
Like,
Jesus.
and and I mean, it was so bad that like he and I were playing cards against one another, like because like we had so many injuries and we didn't have enough card players like on the plane, right? Like,
wow,
we're playing like heads up, like 7-Up or like it
Yeah.
was
Just the two of you.
yeah, just a nightmare, just trying to kill the time, right? Like,
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
yeah. So, but yeah, no, just you form such great bonds with your teammates, and no matter what the scenario is, really.
Yeah.
Like, any given year, whether it's a good year or a bad year, whatever, you're always going to remember those guys and remember all the the hotels, the buses, the planes, the downtime in the locker room. Yeah, just everything, right? Like, it's just like when you look back on it, like it's just so many great memories, and you're just, as like I had to convince myself of this one, it's a little saying that I try and go by, it's, you can't be upset that something's over, just, you got to be happy about the fact that it ever happened in the first place, right? Like,
totally.
Well said.
so
Yeah.
so there's a little bit of comfort in that that analogy, and like just that little bit of just shifting your mentality about it, because at the end of the day, when you look back on it, you're like, how the hell was I so lucky to even get to this point, right?
Sure.
Like, it's there were so many great players that I grew up with that didn't get the same breaks or the same opportunities that I did, and yeah, you wonder, like, how that ever happens.
Well, when you think about that, and just like we can rewind the tape a little bit, just going to like growing up in New York, upstate New York, and were you, like, your family, like, it was a hockey family, siblings, like how did hockey, like, become such a big part of your life, and if you could just kind of walk us through like your youth hockey career and what that was like, if you had crazy hockey parents, and like what worked well or didn't work well with those relationships along the way.
No, my parents were the furthest thing from crazy hockey parents.
Okay.
My father never grew up playing hockey. He was a football, basketball, track guy in northern New York, a small town called Carthage.
Okay.
But my older brother played. My older brother Quint played, and I rode his coattails as much as I could. And when my mother was sick of having me in the house, and my brother was going to play street hockey with his friends, she'd be forcing him to take me along.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
And those fellows would always say, like, well, if he's gonna be here, like, we're not gonna treat him like, your little brother. We're gonna treat him just like he's one of us, kind of thing. And so, yeah, so I got my butt kicked a lot as a kid. It was, yeah, I was a I was a very tiny kid. I was a late bloomer.
Okay.
So I got my butt kicked a lot early on. Not even just by like my brothers, like friends, and even my own peers, but like my cousins, everything. Like they all played football. They're like giants. I'm like the runt of like the family kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I used to get my ass kicked a lot, and then the late teens started kicking in, and I started growing, and all of a sudden I'm shoulder to shoulder with these guys that have been taking liberties on me for a bunch of years, and
Now it's on.
I had a good memory, and I was meaner. So
That's right.
There we
Now
go.
it's on.
so it worked out pretty well for me. But yeah, there was a lot of butt kickings along the way. But yeah, so my brother was, the reason that I played, and with my parents, my father, my mom was, maybe a little bit of the crazy hockey mom, because if anyone ever, took a liberty on me or whatever, she wasn't having that. I was the baby of the family, that kind of thing. I can remember, she'd be telling referees that she'd meet them in the parking lot, kind of thing.
That's
Hey,
fantastic.
you don't mess with Scary Sherry, man. It goes one of two ways. It's either Cher Bear when she's nice and she's good, and then she's Scary Sherry when she's really angry.
Love it.
But so I grew up in Oswego, New York, cold weather, right on the shore of Lake Ontario. I played all my minor hockey, like through Oswego minor hockey, never never went anywhere else all the way through high school and everything. I played, I didn't play my freshman year of high school, but did my sophomore and junior year. I didn't like the seniors, that were in the classes when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
And I was very, very fortunate to have the coaches that I had through Oswego minor hockey. From the time I was a mite, it was local guys that played some college hockey and everything. They were just trying to give back to the program. They were they're still friends to this day. And then it led to Doug Ackley, who was a Messina, New York guy, had more ties to like St. Lawrence University than anything else. He coached me through squirt. Then my Pee Wee coach was Ed Gozik, the great Ed Gozik from Oswego State that just stepped down this past year. So I had Eddie as a Pee Wee hockey coach, which was wonderful. And then Bantam hockey was a guy named Dan Ford, who is out of Potsdam, New York. We still keep in touch to this day. He's actually relocated down to the Raleigh area. And
Oh, wow.
Nice.
He reached out to me, during the Cup run, asking questions and congratulating me on the Charleston gig and everything. And
Nice.
he was a really helpful individual and influence, at the time when things were changing for me really, really quickly. And that was, I was, growth spurt, playing better hockey, playing more confidently. And he was a really, really great resource for me. Especially between he and Pete Sears was my high school coach, who, he's a 72 Olympian, was a goaltender, on the Olympic team, played at Oswego State. He was my 7th grade social studies teacher.
Oh, wow.
That's unbelievable.
That's wild.
Yeah. So, that's the type of community that I grew up
Right.
in, and was very, very fortunate. The big year for me, like one of two really big years for me, was actually probably 3 years now that I think about it, was my last year playing Bantam hockey for Dan Ford. when I said I didn't want to play for the high school team.
Yeah.
I had a really, really strong year. Like, you know, and we would go out and challenge. I mean, we were a B organization, and we would go out and challenge AAA programs and give them a run for their money, and even beat them in some scenarios. And I think that season, you know, you play 60 something games, and I had 178 points or something like that. Like,
holy
just
shit.
Whoa.
like it was like a really big, that was like the big confidence year for me. At like 15 is where it sort of shifted, and
It
then
clicked. Yeah.
yeah, things started coming together around then. And then I pulled that into my sophomore year of high school, where I actually did play high school hockey and had a good year. Not great, but good. And, you know, with the lack of games that you play there, we searched out a lot of like summer hockey with, you know, whether it was I was playing Uncle Sam's with Matty Murley, and, you know, his dad was running that program. Timmy Conley, Travis Howe was on our team. And the Syracuse Stars were always trying to pull me in. Don Kernan was always trying to pull me into the Syracuse Stars program, but my family couldn't afford it, and I knew it. And it's just, you know, it was what it was. But, you know, through all of that, you know, I played 3 sports growing up. I played soccer in the fall to get ready for hockey. I played hockey all winter, and, you know, then baseball season started up, and we still had snowbanks out in left field. Like, it just kind of that's how we did things.
Yeah.
Right.
But so after that sophomore year, I played probably a lot more summer hockey that year, and went to a lot more, you know, pre-draft up in Boston, and I was playing with the Adirondack Thunder under Gavin Reagan, going across the border and playing in Canadian tournaments in Kingston and Montreal and everything. And then my junior year of high school came in, and Dan Ford had done a little bit of research where a lot of those like northern New York cities, like, or well, towns like Messina, Potsdam, Canton, Ogdensburg, like all those border towns.
Yep.
A lot of those guys that play high school hockey, they also jump on with a junior team across the border and play junior B in the Rideau St. Lawrence League. And he went and watched a playoff game and requested a meeting with the Gananoque Islanders. Wilf Johnson was the coach there, and he took a meeting with him after a playoff game and said, "I've got an American kid that's going to come in here next year, and I think you're really going to like him." And Wilf kind of scoffed at it, like, whatever, yeah. You know, send him up, we'll send him out on a rail, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. We're gonna love some American kid.
Yeah,
like, whatever.
exactly right. Yep.
You know, it's that kind of mentality up there, and so that was the year, my junior year, I had to, you know, stop playing soccer and, you know, just kind of focus on just focus on hockey. The season was starting in September up there and everything. And so I showed up the first day, and, you know, they watched me and everything. And, you know, I was lingering on the ice, like after the skate, you know, the fellas were, you know, shooting pucks around and, you know, working on some stuff. And Wilf Johnston, who was the GM and head coach, he comes down to the glass and calls me over, and he says, Can you come back tomorrow? I was like, well, I thought this was a tryout, so I was going to keep coming back until you told me to fuck off. Right? Like,
that was my plan.
Yeah, like the idea is I'm here until you tell me to leave.
Right.
And so I end up making the team. They slap number 72 on me because the kid that wore the jersey the year before, Gibson was his last name. I'm trying to think of his first name. That's escaping me right now, but he won Rookie of the Year. and was drafted by the Frontenacs and was headed to the OHL like that following season. And they were like, "You're going to do the same thing." And I was like, "I don't think I'm going to the OHL, fellas." I was a little petrified of the OHL. Too many horror stories back then.
Oh,
I'm
like
sure.
like just out of curiosity, like what? Like what were the what was the
Just,
reputation?
well, American kids kind of getting,
That's what
Like
I
hazed?
figured.
not
Not
necessarily,
friendly
yeah, like,
place for them. Yeah.
well, it was more so like if there, like, say it was between me and a Canadian kid and we were fairly equal, or even if I was like a step in front of him, the opportunity would go to the Canadian kid.
Got it.
So like, so for me, and besides that, I was never a sure thing. So we wanted to keep things like college oriented
Yeah.
and everything.
Right.
And at that point, you know, my like Clarkson was already well on my radar. Steve Yonikis, who was the assistant athletic director at Clarkson, I played against his son growing up all the way through, and he watched me in that junior year of high school hockey, and he asked, you know, another parent like who my dad was and and whatnot, and he said, "Hey, you know, after this game, you mind if I talk to your son?" And my father's like, you know, my father Dennis is like, "Yeah, sure. Like, can I be there also?" He's like, "Of course." And so he just, all he said to me was, "Keep doing what you're doing, keep playing the way you're playing," and he's like, "There's going to be a lot of scholarship opportunities like waiting for you. Just keep your grades up, like pay attention to the books, like don't just oversee that aspect of it." And it was, you know, one of the two best pieces of advice I got from Steve Yonikis before ever going to Clarkson were those two things. But so I ended up, you know, playing kind of like a split season a little bit with the team in Gananoque. It was, I'm not going to lie, it was 96 miles one way, snowstorms along 81. We're in the snow belt, like capital of, you know, the United States, across, you know, the eastern part of Lake Ontario. And there were some rough nights home for Dennis and I, but I think I ended up playing 38 games. So the rule was, if I had you know, I'll be there as much as I can, like early on, and then once my high school season starts, like I was practicing every day for high school. If I have a game for high school, that takes precedence over a game for junior hockey and practice and whatnot. But there was days where I'd finish a full school day. I'd go to my high school practice, go in the locker room, pack up my bag. My old man would have the vehicle backed up, ready to go, throw my gear in the back of the vehicle. Jeez. And we'd drive up to Gananoque for a 7:30 puck drop, and we'd turn it around right after. So yeah, so we put in some miles that year on the old leased Ford Explorer. Yeah.
Turning that back in must have been a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Sir, you're over by 75,000 miles.
Yeah, I think
at a quarter a mile. That's
yeah. I think about like halfway through it, he realized he needed to like buy more miles.
Totally.
Yeah, but I think I only played like 38 games for the Islanders that year. I was an all-star. I was rookie of the year, and just had such a unbelievable confidence building year. I was 16 turning 17, and it really translated back to high school hockey. High school hockey was nothing that year for me. Like after competing with those guys like all fall and whatnot. So by the time my high school season rolled around, I was in mid-season form.
It was easy for you.
Yeah. It was a joke. Yeah, honestly, but it was so great, like, because, like, because I was doing it with like my childhood friends and everything, and it was great, right?
Yeah.
Like we played 25 games that year. I had 90 points. We lost we lost 2 games. We lost 2 games all season. We lost a Christmas tournament championship game in Saratoga to like St. Francis out of like Western New York, and we lost the state championship game
Oh man.
to Grease Lightning. Yep, 4-3. And
man.
and so it was like shit, right? Like, like I like when I walked into our first team meeting, I was like, I think we can run the table this year, boys. Like no losses, be completely unblemished, and just take down everybody. Like, let's go. Like that was my mentality heading into that year. But so that season, happens, and then it's time for pre-draft and all the summer hockey stuff. Adirondack Thunder again. I get a phone call to my parents' house from Scott Owens of the Des Moines Buccaneers, and he's telling me how he drafted me, and he's going to be out in Boston next week to watch me, and he's like, yeah, I'd love to take you to breakfast and talk about your future out here in Des Moines. And I'm like, Des Moines?
I don't know about that.
It's
I'm
like,
not so sure I like that idea.
yeah. I'll tell you what, he didn't sell me on it right away with that phone call.
Yeah, right.
I can remember I hung up that phone call, and I was like, yeah, right. Like, I'm going to Des Moines. Like, fuck that.
You fucking nuts.
Yeah, but he showed up in Boston the next weekend and took me to breakfast. And it wasn't until he and I rolled out of the parking lot that all the other parents whose kids play AAA hockey during the season and like play way higher than what I'm playing back home, they were like, do you realize like what that is, like what that just was, like that is like huge, and like all this, and telling my parents this. And it wasn't until the ride home from that weekend my dad tilted his rear view mirror back so he can make eye contact with me, and he's like, hey, we're gonna have to talk about this. And I was like, wait, what? Like, seriously? He's like, yeah. He's like, apparently it's a thing. I was like, all right, well,
Fucking
let's
Des Moines.
figure it out. Des Moines.
Let me just add a quick question though. You were saying how your 15, 16 is when you really had like a big confidence year, like, but along the way, like through the like younger ages, like like playing college hockey, NHL, like, is this something that's like going through your mind? Like, that you're like maybe head and shoulders above a bunch of other kids. Like, when did you really start to understand that you were going to be able to take this to like such a high level? Like, was it at this point in time? Was it maybe a little bit before, like playing other sports? Did you ever consider sticking with a different sport besides hockey? Like, what was that like?
Yeah. So I always wanted to be a hockey player, always. Okay. In my 6th grade, like testimonial, they were like, what are you going to be doing in 2000, call it, gosh, 4, 6, whatever it was, whatever
Playing
year they were,
professional hockey.
yeah. I said I was going to be playing professional hockey for the Pittsburgh Penguins. That was my team. Mario was my guy. Yeah. But yeah, like it wasn't until that year in Des Moines that it was like, oh shit, like this, like this might be a thing. Like it might be.
And was that level of hockey out in Des Moines when you got there? Was that like
crazy.
the best you've ever seen?
Oh,
USHL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
USA, yeah.
Yeah, it was honestly insane. It was very eye-opening for me going out to Des Moines. So like I was a good player when I was younger and fast and smaller than everybody, and then everybody grew, and then they were allowed to check me, and then I became not very good hockey player because I didn't grow. Right. And then eventually I grew, and got back into the rhythm. Got back into the rhythm with everyone else, and I was collecting receipts on everybody.
Yeah, you were.
So, so I got out to Des Moines, and one of the first faces I see is an old friend, Pete Frigo, out of Messina, New York. Again, known him since I was 12 years old or whatever. Played Adirondack Thunder together, all that stuff. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Man, I was here last year." I'm like, "What is this?" He's like, "This is the spot, man. You gotta come."
Wow.
And he really convinced me and was like, "This is legit." And I was like, "All right," I go out, and I had a great camp. I literally was only there for a day. They had me skate a little bit in the late morning, and then they played me in the first game. I think I scored a goal on my first shift. Just
Nice.
Lit it up. Scott Owens is up in the stands. He's got two college coaches with him, one from Providence and one from UNH. Those two guys were the first two schools that did a home visit, my parents' house the week that my eligibility for recruiting opened up. Those guys both did in-home visits.
Wow.
But for me, my mind was set on Clarkson. I never looked anywhere else. I never entertained anything else. I knew where I wanted to go. But so I ended up in Des Moines, and it was there that you recognized, holy crap, every other guy that I'm playing against, you look at every other team's roster, and everyone's on a full ride somewhere.
Right.
It was insane to me. And it was intimidating at first, for sure. It took me a while. It wasn't until November where I was confident and comfortable enough to be okay, I can play with these guys. I can compete with these guys. And so that was kind of the year that things really started to progress in terms of the possibility of actually playing pro one day. I got kicked out of a game early for getting, you get in a fight and you get booted. I took a run.
Was there a lot of that? Was there a lot of fighting? I just see 140 PIMs
that
year compared to all the other years.
I had more than I should have, for sure. Yeah, Scott. Yeah, I think at one point Scott Owens brought me into his office after a weekend set, and he's like, it'd be nice to have you either on the ice or on the bench at the end of a game.
You're sitting on the wrong bench,
as opposed to what you're doing right now. And I was like, got it. Yeah,
Roger.
Sorry. So yeah, so he helped me a ton. He cleaned me up quite a bit. But yeah, I got into a fight early in one game. I think it was Clarkson's even first time seeing me play, and I finished a hit on a defenseman. He didn't like it, grabbed me. We had a dance. Off you go to the showers, and I go upstairs to watch the rest of the game, and the guy sitting next to me at the table is the head of Central Scouting, and he was just we've got you on our radar. We're watching you night in, night out here. You keep doing what you're doing, and good things are going to come from all this and whatnot. And so yeah, so that year in Des Moines was a big confidence boost for sure.
Yeah,
right. And then you wound up going to Clarkson shortly after Des Moines.
Yeah, went to Clarkson right out of high school, and went in as a freshman. Thought I knew everything, knew nothing really, but figured things out pretty quickly, and then got drafted at the end of that season to Carolina, and then my sophomore year was a bit of a mess. Early on, I got put in the stands on the backside of a weekend set in North Dakota. Pretty much the whole the 5-2 loss was all blamed on me. which I found amusing. But prior to that, we hosted Northern Michigan and lost 2 1-goal games against them. We lost like 3-2 and like 6-5 like the next night. And I think I had like, what did we have? 6-5. So like of the seven goals we scored, I think I was in on 5 of them.
Shit.
But yet
it was your fault.
Yeah. It's all your fault kind of thing.
Was this
but
a
Sheldon-
rough coaching situation? Like the coach and you didn't see eye to eye?
It was Mark Morris. We can't stand him. I'll get to that story in a second.
All right.
But Sheldon Ferguson, who was the head of scouting for the Carolina Hurricanes, he was at the Northern Michigan weekend, and I'm playing center, which isn't my natural position. So I'm like playing out of my natural position just to like, help the lineup kind of thing.
Right.
And I had a good weekend. Whenever Sheldon Ferguson grabs me after, and he's like, we just wanted to make sure you still wanted to be a hockey player. And I said, well, yeah, I still want to be a hockey player. And he's like, okay, good. Like, I'm going to be out in North Dakota here in a couple weeks. Like, let's grab a cup of coffee and talk about your future with the Hurricanes. And I was like, yeah, that all sounds good. I'm like, but you got to run it by Mark. He's really crazy about this stuff. Like, he's like weird about me talking with like scouts and agents and whatever. Like, just make sure you let him know. So what does Mark do? Gets information that Sheldon Ferguson's going to be out there.
Oh,
so
shit.
after game one on Friday, guess who's in the stands Saturday?
He puts you down. That's bullshit.
That's fucked up.
That's such bullshit.
But no, the cherry on top was that, I had to go do the walk of shame to my parents' room, who, they had traveled all the way out to North Dakota to watch me play that weekend because it was my mom's birthday and my birthday that weekend. So, they traveled out to be a part of it. And I've got to go tell them that I'm not in the lineup.
Right.
Then I get back to my like team hotel room, and my roommate, Jan Turjan, is like, hey, Mo's looking all over the place for you. I want you to go to his room. So I go to Mark Morris's room for him to sit me down and give me a 2.5-hour rip session in front of Sheldon Ferguson.
Jesus.
What?
Like directly in front of Sheldon Ferguson. His hair's too long. He doesn't shave often enough. His girlfriend's only seeing dollar signs. Like, yeah, I mean, you name it. Like, he went across the board. Yep.
That's crazy.
Just completely, like, just berated me in front of, like, the Hurricanes, like, head scout. But the good news was he also wanted me to go sit and watch the game with Sheldon that night. And as I sat and watched the game with Sheldon, we talked hockey and we, watched the play, what I was seeing, what he was seeing, everything. He's showing me Brad DeFaw, somebody I'll be competing for a roster spot with, all this stuff. We get to the end of the game, and he shakes my hand, and he said, listen, I don't know what the hell these guys are thinking. He's like, but you just put your head down, go to work, and everything's going to be fine.
Wow.
I said, okay, got it. Like, we'll do. I ended up being an All-American that year.
Wow.
Right.
But hearing the stories from Sheldon years after in Carolina, and he's like, those guys were contemplating like booting you out of Clarkson. Like, not like booting me, but like basically they would just kind of clip me from the team, but they would still have to honor my scholarship, but I just wouldn't be able to play hockey there. And Sheldon Ferguson's message to them was, you go right ahead and
I will take him now.
And he's like, I'll put that kid in the minors this year, and he'll be in the NHL next year. He's like, do me a favor.
Yeah.
He's like, do me a favor and make sure that kid doesn't have any other options, so we can squeeze him on his contract.
Right.
And I'll put him in the minors. Yeah. He's like, I'll offer that kid $200,000, and there's no way he'll say no.
No. Right.
Yeah. He was like, do it, like dared them, and they didn't, right? So as the season wore on and everything, Mark just became more and more I don't even know if like paranoid's the word or like whatever it was. He was
jealous,
just
a little bit of jealousy. It
no.
sounded
He
like
was just
no.
he was just
He was just a dick.
he was just a dick. Like he really was. Like I can remember at one point, one of the assistant coaches grabbed me and was like, let's meet for a coffee and like how can I help? And I was like, just tell him to leave me alone. Like just I don't need him opening the door for me to yell at me that like I fucked up on the ice. Like I know when I fuck up on the ice. Right? Like thanks but no thanks. Like fuck off. Like I don't need that shit. And so eventually it got better and better, but we could win a game on a Friday night and get berated about how dog shit we were on Friday night with, having a game again to play Saturday night. And it just got to the point where it just became too much. It was just so much negativity, so much just like it was just bad for the group. And we had a great group of guys. And we were on a weekend trip, Dartmouth, Vermont, and he walked out of the room after ripping us. After we might have lost, we might have won, whatever it was, but it was before we went into Vermont to play the Catamounts, and I can remember, like I was like, hey, like that's it, like enough's enough, like no more noise from that motherfucker or from anywhere else. Like we know what we have in here. We're gonna play hard for one another. We're gonna win this fucking shit in spite of him. Like let's go. Like we've got the group. Like we can handle this. And we went out the next night, and it wasn't looking too good. We're down 2-1 in the third in Vermont, and I score a goal. To make it 2-2. Like, probably midway through the third period, right? Bang. Okay, we're right back in this thing. Tied up at 2. We're playing in the gut, right? Awful rink to play in. Just a mess of a place, right? Nobody likes being there. So off the face-off, right after we won, a defenseman like turned the puck over, like just fumbled it, whatever. I grab it, score again. 3-2. Now we're up 3-2. The last 5 minutes, now we're in buckle down mode. Like Mo's freaking out, all of his like nervous, like crazy energies, like just reverberating up and down the bench. We end up taking a penalty in like a 6-on-5 situation.
Oh man!
And Kent Huskins, who's a Stanley Cup winner with Anaheim, he's like bullshit. I'm like, no, this is a good thing. Now I can ice the puck at their net. I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, I want them to pull the goalie so I can have a free shot at their empty net.
Right. Yeah.
And sure enough, like 30 seconds later, I get to a loose puck first, grab it, snap it down the ice, cap off a hat trick.
Nice.
We beat them 4-2. We went on a run the rest of that season. We won like 14 or 15 straight.
Awesome.
League title.
That's when you won the ECAC that year, right?
Okay. Yeah, we won the league, and then we went up to Lake Placid and won the tournament.
Awesome.
But by the hair of our chinny chin, I will say that. Yeah, we were beating Princeton like 5-1 or something like that. And again, Mr. Negativity and his nervous energy, like just creeping all over like the back of your neck, like every shift you're getting ready to go out there for. We end up like giving up the lead. They end up tying the game late, 5-5, and then we win a face-off. Willie Mitchell fires a knuckle puck from the red line that goes off to the bottom of their goaltender's glove in the net. We beat them 6-5 with 2 seconds left.
Oh my
goodness. Knuckle puck from mid-ice is what won the game?
Yeah. Yep. It was
That's
like
crazy.
The goalie must have been beside himself.
Oh, I don't think he returned to campus after that.
I don't think so either.
I wouldn't have.
I don't think anybody would have.
I need to change the scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad there wasn't the portal back in those days.
Oh, there you
Poor
go.
fucker.
Seriously. Jesus.
And so then the next night we actually got to play against St. Lawrence in the 1980, which was one of my, honestly not even one of, it was my most favorite college game that I played in.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Place is sick, isn't it?
I'm from Northern New York, right? So
Yeah,
like I've been playing games in that arena since I was 12. Jack O'Callahan is a member at the same club down in South Carolina, Secession Golf Club, that I'm a member at, and OC and man, I could sit and listen to him tell stories all night long on that back porch. Like,
I can imagine. We've had Mike Ruzioni on, and
yeah.
OC
Rizzo's
is
great,
another
too.
one that we need to have on, by the way. That would be an awesome interview as well. We got to talk about that moving forward too, Eric.
I can pass you his contact info.
No, that would be tremendous. So I'm just curious. So now you're back you're in coaching, right? I mean, you then hockey dadded for your son, who is going to be a sophomore playing Division 3 hockey up there in upstate New York?
Yeah. SUNY Potsdam, SUNYAC.
Right. So, so you went through the entire process yourself. You played obviously the highest level humanly possible. So now you had to become a hockey dad, right?
Yeah. It was not very good for me in that first year when I was pouting.
Understood.
Yeah. But eventually I started working my way into, helping out a little bit, and I was, helping out at practice. I would run a door like on the bench and things like that. Just gradually. And then I ended up coaching like him and, a bunch of his peers at the AA level, where, it started out where I had, kind of like the, the island of misfit toys kind of thing. And, but actually taught them all how to play hockey the right way. And we ended up losing in overtime in the national championship game at 16U, like 3 years later. So, so it was a pretty cool evolution of all of it. Like for me, USA Hockey has turned so much attention to skating and skill, which there's just so much with the private lessons and like just all this specialty shit I hate.
Interesting.
I grew up and played 3 sports, like I said, but I lived on my rollerblades. I lived in my parents' basement shooting pucks on my rollerblades. I skated miles and miles all over my hometown. I played, organized and played street hockey with my buddies as much as I could, right? Like it wasn't, I got to pay this guy $200 an hour for an ice session, right? Like it's, for me, it's, like I had this conversation with, a good friend of mine who's my ex-brother-in-law, Josh Bartell, and he's still associated with like Clarkson University and everything. And they were looking for like a new assistant coach. And he's like, man, like you can't find like a good, like, third assistant coach at like even the D1 level right now, like of anyone that's like played D1 hockey. I'm like, yeah, because all those guys are going to these minor hockey programs where there's a AAA program, and next thing you know, they're the skating and skill development coach, and they're getting paid, 6 figures from that organization on top of doing private lessons with every kid that, they can get on the ice. I'm like, why the heck would they go to Clarkson for $40,000 in free housing?
Right.
Like, it's really gray there during the winters. even the spring, right? Like, fuck that. Like, no, those guys aren't going to do that.
Right.
So for me, like what's like the middle class has been lost a little bit, in my opinion, and even even at the PA level, we talked about it for years and years, like trying to protect the middle class and always worried about the median salary and whatnot. And it really got lost for a few years. Now I think it's been regulated through this new system, and they've figured out like how to make it work, which is great. It's great for the players. It's great for the game, everything. But for me with the kids, it's like the skating and skill is great, but when a kid at 10 years old, 11 years old can just go back and grab a puck from behind his net and skate it all the way up the ice himself, like that's not teaching a kid how to play hockey. And then
Right. No.
and then eventually, like, everyone's going to be able to hunt down that kid and angle him and eventually put a body on him. And
That's right.
his frustration level is going to go through the roof, and he's going to want to quit and whatever. Like, you actually have to teach him how to, like, move the puck, play the game, and actually be a team. And so I felt like I did a really good job of that, like, with the group that I had, or the groups that I had. I mean, I can remember having, we'd bring in a new kid that had played in a different organization. I'd have to tailor some of my practice drills just to get this kid moving the puck away from him, like through neutral ice. Like,
because
so
he
we
wanted
were-
to skate it end to end. Is that what
he
it was?
wanted to go coast to coast nonstop, and then
Yeah.
he's banging his stick on the glass and on the ice, and pouting in frustration. And it's like, listen, like, if you give away the puck, everyone's focus goes over there to where the puck just went, and then you can get the puck back
in open
and-
space.
and at that point, maybe two people are even capable of paying attention to you. But you have to move it and get it back. And, it's just, there's lots of little things. And I got to be honest with you, like, I didn't know all this stuff. Like, when I was a teenager, and like, even through college, like, didn't necessarily learn a ton at Clarkson. Like, I mean, I played hard-nosed, straightforward, like, and just bowled my way to the net lots of times, right? Like, playmaking and, like, a finesse game was not part of my game, especially early on.
Right.
But I learned that, like, as I went along, and like Rod Brindamore for me was a huge mentor, especially in my rookie season, where I learned so much from him about all these little things to look for, and just little passing lanes, and just like things you don't pick up along the way. You get it when you're there. And so for me, I feel like being able to have all those little nuances that I learned kind of later in my career, or not, early in my professional career, but later in my hockey career, and be able to apply like those little lessons along with like the coaching philosophies of, not just Roddy, but Paul Maurice, Peter Laviolette, like the guys that I like played for and had success with, and just really like the way they operated and stuff. Like, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me.
So I'm actually curious. So it's funny that you just said that you learned this kind of later on when you were at the higher levels, right? These things. So what would you say, or I guess, let's say that you had like a 5-year-old right now, right? And you were going to teach
God, I
that
hope
kid.
I look over his shoulder.
Let's say that and you had to teach that kid from the beginning, right? Or even to like parents with young kids. What would you say that they should focus on? Maybe it's not the skills, maybe it's not the power skating. What would you tell, parents to have their kids focus on and pay attention?
For me, it's do not watch the do not watch your highlights on social media. Watch your highlights like on the NHL Network, where it's an actual hockey play, and it gets broken down from, like, for me, like, anytime, like, if my team gave up a goal, people want to sit there and look, 15 seconds prior to that goal to see where the breakdown was. And for me, I would go back as far as 60 seconds to see where the actual breakdown was. Like, if you were to put this puck here and put this puck back behind their D rather than turning it over, we never would have been in that situation to begin with, right? Like, so, like, for me, that's kind of how I look at things in terms of, like, the coaching side of it. But with that being said, there's going to be breakdowns, like, all over the ice, and everyone's going to make mistakes, and everyone's going to have turnovers and whatnot. And it's having structure within how you play the game to be able to back one another up. Like, that's how I view all that. So for me, like, if I had a young kid right now and I was getting him in the game, I would encourage him to play other sports. Like, I would rather have an athlete than a hockey player.
We say it all the time. Yep.
Yeah.
If I, like, honestly, like, if I would have been a better, like, hitter in baseball, I probably would have been a pretty good baseball player, but I couldn't hit the ball worth a shit. But I was fast, and I could field, and, like, no ball dropped in front of me in center field or left field or wherever I was playing, right? Like, but. And I would want my kid to, like, live on his rollerblades, like, have an actual, like, desire to do it, like, I just think it means more when it comes from within than it does where you're paying somebody to bark at your kid on the ice and make him do edge work and whatever.
The shit they hate. The shit that they totally hate.
I gotta be honest, I watch, we do edge work, with our groups and stuff like that. Like, even down in Charleston, and I'll turn to somebody and I'll be like, I don't think I could do half this shit. Like, I don't know now.
Oh, now.
Like, not even then. Like, I could do this shit now. Like no. Like, I can't do that stuff. Like, I'm not even gonna try it.
Do you think it's necessary, or do you think it's kind of obsolete for today's game? I'm just curious.
I think it's just too much. I think there needs to be, like, a bit of a reset on it, where there has to be a little bit more, like, there has to be just a little bit more, like, takeaway from the skill in skating. Like, obviously, like, you need to continue to work at that, but you can also do that on your own time, where you're not having to pay somebody, and, like, all of a sudden, like, hockey has become, like, just this. I mean, it's basically, like, it's not as blue collar as it used to be.
No.
It's very much a rich kids, like, sport, where, like, the more, one-on-one training and everything that you get, like, because your parents can afford it, is like where it's at, kind of thing. But I gotta be honest with you, that's not the ticket. Like, I can sit here and rip off so many names of people in this Raleigh area who spent a ton of money on private lessons and sending their kid here and there and whatever, and, like, all this stuff. And like I've had, late night conversations with hockey dads, like, here in the Carolinas, where I'm like, listen, like, you need to stop. Like, stop coaching your kid. Stop trying to tell him that he should be doing this, or trying to do this, or he should be doing this. Like, no. Like, you know what my dad said to me when I stepped out of the vehicle? He told me to skate hard. That was it. Ever.
Yeah.
Never anything more. That was the only thing he ever said to me. And after the game, he'd say, "How do you think you played?" And I'd be like, wasn't great. Or I'd be like, "Yeah, I felt pretty good out there today." Like, that was it.
Right.
But it was never like, well, why didn't you pass it to this guy when you saw him there or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, my dad was more the guy at tryouts being like, "Hey, I think I saw some kid beat you in one of the races, like at the skate at the end." And I was like, "The fuck? No, he didn't."
It was all about the effort.
I was like, nobody fucking beat me. Like, who are you kidding? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, then I'd get offended. Then I'd get mad at my dad. You know what? I'll walk home. But no, it's just too much right now. Like, and I get it. Like I feel like USA Hockey felt like we needed more first round draft picks, more high end talent, and I feel like they've kind of isolated like that top 5 to 10% of those players, and those guys are getting developed and like having great success, which is awesome. But the other 90% of the kids are struggling to stay in the game and or like have a love for the game where they even want to play men's league at the end of it.
Right.
Do you think that
That's
USA
my
Hockey
opinion.
do you think USA Hockey was trying to compete too much with Hockey Canada? Do you think that's
100%.
why?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like they were just trying.
That was always the conversation. Well, look
Right.
at how many first round draft picks that Canada has, like first overalls, especially the overalls, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's Canadians, it's Russians, it's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's anything
it
but
was
the U.S., right? Right.
Well, we were talking to oh my god, now that I'm blanking, even though he was just in the news, the commissioner of the USHL.
Oh, Glenn Heffron.
Glenn Heffron. Yeah, and and one of the things that was eye-opening to me was just the amount of money, like how much the NHL subsidizes the CHL, and kind of the looks that CHL players will get just through in NHL organizations, because so many of their management staff are CHL alum, et cetera. And it was that was a really interesting piece, which obviously makes sense, but never even thought. And now with the expansion of the USHL and them like vying for more money from the NHL, who knows how that's going to shake out. But that's an interesting piece.
It's so crazy. Like, I mean, even just the junior hockey landscape alone is like, it's so significantly different than when I went through it. I mean, I can remember, like, even back in the day when I was going through it, like the CJ, which was, it's now the CCHL or whatever, across the border, in Ontario, and all that used to be a huge feeder for like ECAC schools and whatnot. Like, and that league now has just turned to like crap, basically, right? Like, it's completely different. There's all these different leagues, and like one of my big beefs right now with, I take this NCDC coaching job, and then this spring USA Hockey releases this statement that if you play like more than 9 games on an NCDC roster, you're not eligible to play for a North American Hockey League team or for the USHL.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So now I'm handcuffed with the fact that, like,
it limits the amount of players that'll talk to you, right?
I could develop a player that could be ready to play in that league by season's end next year, and go play like with them, like for a playoff run or a playoff stretch or whatever, and earn his like spot, hopefully on a roster for the following season. And now I don't have that opportunity, or the kids don't have that opportunity, more so, like, more importantly, right? Like, and so they're handcuffing us, like, which I don't understand. Like, it's just, it's amazing how much that it, like, all of this has just become about the dollars rather than like the success of like kids. Like I think that's the part that kind of bothers me the most about like how it's structured and set up. But yeah, like, and so it has made some challenges in recruiting this spring, which I'm sure they're happy about, right? Because that was obviously the intent of it.
Right.
But I missed out on some prospects because if they come play for me, then they don't have that opportunity, at the end of the season. So now I've got to kind of refocus my, our recruiting. Matt Reed's my GM. Like, he's been doing, I'm telling you, the load of the work way more than me.
Right.
But so now the situation is like, okay, so now we need to maybe grab a kid that's a birth year or two younger, and we'll like here, come to us. We're going to develop you, and we're going to get you to a place where, we'll use every connection that we have to try and get you into an NA camp or a USHL camp like the following season.
Right.
Like, we'll give you experience. We'll teach you how to play the game, and hopefully we graduate you onto the next level.
Yeah.
Like, that's our goal. Like, it's for our younger players. Like, I don't want you for 2 years. I want you to come here, have a great year, learn as much as you can, and then go do something better. And for like the players that are our older players, I want you to come here and be the best that you can. Give me everything that you have, and I'm going to try and put you into the best situation moving forward, which is really based on what you want. Do you want to go to play D3? Do you want to go just play club hockey? Like, whatever it is, like, we're going to find that best situation for you. Like, that's our mentality.
Right. Yeah, and we've kept you for an hour and a half, and I feel bad, but I have one more question for you. Maybe we're gonna have you back on to like keep going over
Mike,
stuff.
I gotta be honest with you, the only person you're pissing off right now is Mike Commodore.
Why?
They might be waiting. They probably stopped waiting. Who am I kidding? He's so impatient. We're all good. Don't worry about it.
So I'm just curious, because you're right. The money part of this game is a problem, right? And has been for a while now. I'm curious, is there a logical fix for that? Right? I mean, it's a very difficult question. So,
Well, I think one, parents have to be able to recognize like what's enough or what's too much. I think there needs to be, like, you can't always just listen to somebody saying, your kid needs these private lessons, these skating lessons, or whatever. Like, in my opinion, like, buy your kid a set of rollerblades. Tell them to go skate around the neighborhood. Right. Like, go skate up hills 10 times over. I mean, I made my kid do it 100%. Like, yeah, but like, there's ways to get better without doing private lessons. And the other thing is, like, this is one thing that drives me bananas here in the Carolinas is like the stick and puck. How these, private instructors pay a certain fee and they get like a portion of the stick and puck ice from the kids to the point where if you go out for stick and puck, you get from the blue line down to the goal line at one end with however many kids that aren't out there getting private lessons. That is the biggest joke I've ever fucking heard of.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's the biggest joke ever. Like, if you are going to run private lessons, buck up, pay the cost. Right? Because you paying $20 to run private lessons where you're charging $100 per kid or whatever you're paying is ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, I that used to drive me nuts.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
It's called stick puck and private lesson down here. Not stick and puck.
Same
Stick
here.
and puck is like you give the kids the ice to go out there with their friends and
be
have
creative.
fun.
Yeah. And do whatever.
Come up with games and be inclusive, like whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's stick puck and private lesson is not a big fan. Like no.
We must come up with a T-shirt that says that on it or something along those lines. You know?
Yeah. Oh, they should make jerseys for all the kids that go out there and do it. Like, it's awful. No, that drives me bananas. I do not like stick puck and private lessons because I grew up stick and puck or like public skating.
Sure.
Right.
Public skating. Go play tag with your friends. Like,
totally. Work on your edges that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and there's a lot to it right now that I don't love, and I'm certainly not going to be changing it like single-handedly or anything. Like,
I know.
you know, it has to like, and honestly, it has to come from parents and whatnot that, you know, they just need to at some point stop listening to somebody telling them that their kid needs this and their kid needs that. Like, talk to your kids, like, you know, like get a real beat on what your kid wants and what they need and let them be a kid, you know. Like for me, like I if I'm being honest, I wanted my kid to be a pro golfer. I'm like, bub, like you're striping it out here. like I'd shoot even par and lose, right? Like I'm like,
oh wow,
oh he's legit. Okay.
Oh,
wow.
he was legit, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, one summer he woke up and he's like, I don't want to go to the course today. I'm gonna go rollerblade over to Will's and we're gonna play basketball. Then we're going to come back over here, go for a swim. Then we're going to go play football. And we're going to play street hockey and this. And I was like, damn it. I was like, okay. You can't argue with it. You know what I mean?
No, you can't.
If he told me he was going to sit in his room and play video games, I said, fuck
Right.
no, right?
That's
a different story.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
100%.
That's unbelievable. Well, listen, Eric, it's we've been like an hour 40, so this is just, I mean, honestly, like
I
Jamie
told you,
always
the only person you're going to have to apologize to is Mike Commodore.
Tell Mike we
maybe one other person.
Yeah. Well, maybe we get a pass since you were talking hockey. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's all good.
Yeah, no, listen, thank you so much. And Jamie's the one that usually always says this, but I'll say this time it would be great to have you on again because I know there's a lot more to like what you've been through and like your story that I'm sure we, you know, would love to hear and share with others. But, you know, this was an amazing conversation. So happy that you took the time to talk with us. I'm sure our parents are going to take away a lot just from hearing your story. And, you know, honestly, it's just so refreshing to like continue to have conversations about, you know, with people that are just, you know, talking about being a multi-sport athlete, not getting caught up in all the things that come along with the private lessons and just like, you know, all of it, because it's so easy to get swept up in it. Yeah. It's so easy.
Keeping up with the Joneses, man.
Totally.
That's right.
It's real.
Exactly.
It's real.
Yes, it is real.
All right, Erik Wilson, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, all the best on your move and all the transitions you got going on down there. But we'd love to have you on again another time.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to. No worries about it. And yeah, definitely keep tabs on the Charleston Colonials for me.
Oh, 100%. We're on it.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
All right, fellas. Cheers.
Thanks.
All right. And we're back from our awesome interview with Erik Cole.
Yeah, wow, that was a very, very quick return from.
It was. Well, yeah, I was trying something different.
Oh, and that's great.
Yeah.
Good job for you.
1% better every time.
Well, listen, that was a wealth of information.
We need to have him on for a part 2.
Yeah.
I mean, like very, very soon.
Yeah, he definitely he can talk.
He's a talker.
He can talk, and he's got a lot of great info. And yeah, I was just listening, and then I realized that so much time had passed, and I was like, "Shit, we didn't talk about half the stuff was on the outline."
Yes, no, he had a long past that he can get into.
Yeah,
some pretty cool stories, and I'm sure we haven't even heard.
No, I'm sure that. Yeah, I know the injury issues that we never even talked about that stuff.
That's a shame, by the way.
Yeah,
my goodness.
Yeah,
basically made him end his career early.
I mean, he still had a long career.
he had a fantastic career.
But-
I mean, anybody would kill to have 15 years in the NHL.
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
still, I mean, he probably would have even played longer, much longer.
I don't know how much longer, but yes, sure. I mean, look,
Wasn't ready to shut it down yet.
No, but that, just like coming from New York, and it was interesting again, just, it was like when we had the brothers on, the Kellen brother, Kellen
Joneses?
Jones's brothers.
Yeah.
Yes. They were just talking about how, like, where they grew up, there wasn't like all these different club teams, and there wasn't all these different, you just played with what was in front of you, meaning like the local team. And then
same with him.
it was the same thing. And it's just, I can't help but think what a different mentality it must be if you're not worried about like all of the other like clubs or teams. Yeah, I mean, well, look, didn't he say that he didn't play for the Syracuse Crunch?
Something like that. Yeah, whatever the Syracuse team was.
Crunch?
Something like that.
Is that right?
No,
Doesn't sound right.
So. No, I think it's like the Syracuse. What's the team up there?
Stars?
I want to say Stars or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
Selects?
Pretty sure Boo played for that team.
Yeah. Oh, right on.
I'm pretty sure Boo played for that because he's from Syracuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so you don't have a lot of options up there, right?
Not as many.
No. So he was an Oswego boy like the whole time, just kind of do.
But he's also our age, so like he was doing this like
100%.
many years ago.
Oh yeah, but I think sometimes maybe we may have too many options around us.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Or
Kind of
you know what it's like.
down.
I don't even know if it's like, I don't even know how many options. Like, I take that back. I haven't thought about this so critically, but like what it makes me think is less about like there are options, and if you want to be crazy and you want to do like what we did or what you've done and drive for hours, you fuck. I keep on hitting your camera, dude.
I see this.
This is no bueno.
The new setup.
New setup is, well, whatever, it's working. It's just not idiot proof yet.
No, not yet.
No, it's
we're
not.
working on that.
Idiot proofing. Yeah, I know. I need to like put like rubber things on the corners so I don't hit my head.
Seriously, like toddlers?
Totally. You need to put locks on like everything.
Speaking of.
Wait, hold on. I didn't finish.
Oh, sorry.
This is what I was going to say.
Yes, let's hear it.
Maybe this is what I was going to say because I might have forgotten it, which is not great.
It was something about playing on where we have multiple teams around here. That's
Oh, yeah. This is what I was going to say. So what I was going to say was one thing that it does for sure when you have other kids playing for other teams and like you're crossing paths with different families and like whatever, it's like that FOMO stuff becomes even more real. And whether or not the other family or the other kid or the player or the parent or the coach is telling you the truth, that's not even the point. You're able to like start conjuring up these ideas of what it's like to be at program A and then program B. Sure. But if you're at B and you're playing tier 1 versus C at tier 2, it's like there's so many other like iterations of like what you could not so many, but there's like you know what I'm trying to say. It's like you can start thinking like, oh, if I went there. I don't know.
No, I hear you. I kind of like how he grew up. I like how the Joneses grew up. I like how, Erik Cole grew up. I like how they did that.
No, I agree.
Like we're not a lot of like options in there.
I agree. And it doesn't get stuff in your head or like plant like
Correct.
these ideas that whether true or not, it still takes up more bandwidth, more like, like maneuvering and more like MacGyvering and whatever you got to do to get your kid on whatever team you think they need.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think you're right. I think it was a Syracuse Crunch, by the way. I think you're right.
Crunch, right?
I think it is a Syracuse Crunch. But yeah, no, I like how I almost wish that our kids grew up like that. There's so many options around here. It just kills AAA hockey.
And the fact
waters everything down below it, in my opinion.
Look,
just parents are willing to pay for it. And it kind of, I don't say it ruins it because it doesn't ruin it, but it really fucks it up.
Listen, the one thing that I think we lose sight of is that when you have all these different programs putting forward teams, it's obviously a business, and I don't know the business, but
definitely is business.
But I think like it's making hockey more accessible at the same time. So
that's true.
And that doesn't come without things like
you're not wrong.
Every time it
does make it accessible,
right?
Almost too accessible.
I don't know.
It's good to have options.
Should every rink have like a club team?
I would think so.
Right. Okay.
I think so.
So that's like,
I think so.
All the rinks around here have club teams, right?
Yes, but there's also a lot of rinks close to each other around us where you have a lot of different club teams.
Okay, but let's go through it this way.
Not a bad thing.
I've got right at this point where I live, the rink where we play at is
25.
It's like 30 minutes from us, and then the other one is like 25 minutes.
Okay.
So I've got 2 rinks.
Yeah.
That have 2014 birth year Tier 1 and Tier 2 teams. I can choose that like.
And if you want to drive a little farther, there are a lot more.
If I want to drive a little further, then I'm up to 4. If you think,
I think it's even more than that.
No, well, a little further would be like Wayne, and then Morristown.
Right.
You want to go a little further, then there's the Rockets and Woodbridge.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
And then you want to go a little further.
Also Connecticut. You can probably also go to Connecticut.
Yeah, no, listen,
you can go into the city.
Listen,
you could do that.
I'm not saying that there's a shortage of choices.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's 2 that are reasonable for my family to do.
How many teams do you think are within an hour driving of where you are?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're playing Tier 2, it's a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, what are we saying here?
It's funny. Like I said,
having options is you'd think it would be better if there were less options.
No, I see it from both sides of the coin. I see the fact that there's a lot of teams around here, and parents are willing to pay for AAA, right? And so you have a lot of watered down AAA in our area, in my opinion.
Yeah,
a lot of these kids should be playing Tier 2, and then those kids should be playing single A, right? So I think it waters it down in that respect. And then to your point, which I also see, I also like when you have options, because if the coach in your birth year is just awful, right? And maybe the program is not run very well, even in Tier 2 department, you have the ability to go elsewhere.
Right.
So I see it from both sides of the coin. I don't know how you fix that problem. I don't think you do.
No, I don't think you do. I just think that you have to make the best decision for your family. And if you have options, then that's great. If you don't have options, that's not great. Or maybe it's great. I don't know.
I think there's something to be said for being stuck up in the middle of nowhere and having to play locally and just playing locally and just doing what you do.
Yeah.
And playing baseball in the off season or basketball or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said for that, because the FOMO is not really there.
No, the FOMO is not there. But then then it gets me thinking like the other part, like an advantage to like being like in a place where you have a lot of teams, like you start to better understand like, I guess, what am I trying to say? Like from a skill perspective, right? Like if you're only playing for one club and like, I don't know how many other teams like you're really getting to see. I mean, I think one of the things that we've been lucky around here is that we have access to a lot of high quality hockey. Now, of course, going up to Massachusetts is like that's not something we're doing every weekend. Yeah. But I mean, there's like tremendous hockey up there. There's it's true. So the point of what I'm saying is that like, I don't know. If you have a kid that's ambitious and wants to, play,
right,
higher level or push themselves, I can imagine a scenario where like, having choices and having, like a bunch of,
right.
I don't know.
I think that if I had to do everything all over again, I would probably just pick one place and I would have my kid play there through like Pee-wees.
Regardless?
Yeah.
Really?
And maybe even bantams, to be honest with you.
Even if it was a shitty coach? You wouldn't.
Hopefully that wouldn't be the case.
No, in theory, if it's a good organization and the coaching is good, then ideally you'd want to stay in one place.
Right. I would stay in one place, probably through bantam. And then, because that's when I think it starts to change. I think, so let's just say you're in the middle of nowhere, right? Like the Joneses, you're in the middle of nowhere and there's just one team to play for, right? When you get good and you get older, I think then you start to spider out.
Yeah, sure.
That's, if I had to do it over again, I would take that kind of blueprint.
But how much, like when you say spider out, like by the time you get to the age that you're talking about, you're probably like, then people are, if you're good
like
enough, people are coming to you.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, then it's like your choices are kind of being made for you in some regards.
Yeah. I think you probably branch out as a kid gets older and there's more skills coaches and more power skills.
Well, yeah.
And I think you should, at that point, you should probably play some spring hockey. You know what I mean? And go travel a little bit to better spring hockey teams, right? To see how you are compared to the, local kids or local kids, the kids on that, spring team.
Yeah.
That's what I would do different. I wouldn't do any spring hockey when I was younger, and I would just train.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And as my kid hit like 14, 15, I would then look to kind of like, if he wants to do it, number one, and if he's good enough, number two, then I would kind of spider out.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
If I had to do it over again.
It's an interesting thought. Like you wonder if like you didn't do all that stuff like hot and heavy in the beginning.
Right.
I would be surprised if he didn't like still develop a passion and love for it. You know what I mean? If he was. Or do you think being a part of like these high-end teams and these high-end practices, you think that was part of what made him like fall in love with playing hockey, that he got recognized for being good and he was somewhat like rewarded by being
my kid?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
So if you didn't do any of those like pre-brick, whatever, or do any of those early on tournaments, or do you think
I think he actually would have been better suited today.
Okay.
Because I think that he would have played local and he would have not had so much pressure on him.
Well,
and different kids deal with that in different ways. Don't get me wrong, right?
Oh, yeah, I saw your eyes. You're like, oh, you were looking at the cable. And
I was.
Oh, I thought you were wondering whether or not.
No, I was looking at your mic because your mic is all messed up.
That's not messed up.
No, it is.
What's messed up?
I'm looking at it. Your that's right. The stabilizer that's in between is the other
it's
side. It's restabilized. Restable. I have to tell you. So I'm just gonna give you guys a disclaimer. Scott and I have new gear. We went out, we upgraded our gear. So our audio interface is brand new and it kind of looks like a dashboard in a rocket ship. We're both.
I think it looks like. I think it looks like something that belongs like on a DJ's turntable.
Something out of the board game Candyland, only electronic. Not far off, right? Very colorful.
It's colorful.
Like pink, purple, blue, orange, green, everything under the sun.
Well, at least our listeners now know you're not blind.
No, I'm definitely not colorblind. I mean, so we're using new gear, so just bear with us audio wise. We're hoping that
this is perfect.
We're hoping that this is going to enhance our sound.
It's enhanced.
It's enhanced. It's
enhancing everything
I know we don't
around
need
us.
A lot of enhancing, but we're enhanced.
We're in the process of it being enhanced.
We're in the process of being enhanced.
Anyway, but this was
sound right.
This was a rather lengthy.
It was
lengthy. Up until this point,
yes.
What do you think? You want to like wrap this one up?
We certainly can. Yes. Thank you to Erik Cole for coming on with us. It was awesome. I hope he does a part 2 with us. It was pretty sick to have an ex-NHLer. Is that me? Can you X me out there, buddy? No. There you go. Thank you.
See, I didn't even look.
I got to get these alarms to stop going off. I was impressed we did that without looking us right.
I mean,
nice job, buddy.
I try.
Yeah.
Sometimes harder than others.
So thank you again.
Like my children.
The next time we see you guys will be kind of live from the Moe's Smile event. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. Thank you to our partners for supporting us. Thank you to everybody for listening and downloading and sharing. I know that it is hard to listen in the summertime because everybody's on vacation, so we appreciate the ones who do.
Yes, thank you all, and thank you all.
Yes, and that's 75 in the books, and we'll see you in a couple of days.
All right, my guy.
All right, buddy.
Peace.
Take it easy.